Ooh, what is going on? What is going on? Who we got up in here? We got ooh, we got some people up in here. Let me get myself fully situated. I hope everybody's doing well on this wonderful wet Wednesday night in New York City. Um Man, I guess I don't need to put mom on a cardboard box today, right? She could she could sit pretty, you guys can see her. All right, let me move this out the way. All right, let me see. We got a few people up in here tonight. Gothic Chick, always happy to see you as usual. Dragnat, thank you for coming through. And look, I already know it's you know, Silo is one of those things where I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little behind because I'm just juggling so many different things that I'm trying to catch up on. Um, that I'm not even gonna go into too much crazy conversation. Same with Dune Prophecy. I'm not all the way caught up. A lot has been happening. I don't think. Wait, first off, can you guys see me? Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh man, all right. Yeah, a lot has been going on. I can't wait to talk to you all about it. I'm going to touch on a few things tonight. Let me see. Did this work? The Facebook one didn't hit go live. All right. They got to fix it. All right. But we're live on their YouTube. All right. We're live on the new Blerd order. We're live on the movie blog. Um, oh man. You can see me? Good, good. So happy. So happy. Stop being so busy. Look. This is a good problem. This is a good problem. Here, look, look. Let me get my uniform all the way on. It's like when Roman Reigns put on the Ula Fala, like everything is normal now. All right. Oh man, am I late watching Invasion? No. No, you just got, if you just now starting, you just got a lot to binge. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. This is a good problem. But I appreciate you coming through. 5-star reaction. So what else we got up in here? We got William Waddy looking clear. Love that. Love that avatar right there. Love that avatar. Um, who we got up in here? Somebody commented on one of the Patreons. That's okay. I got a few things I want to talk about tonight. I don't think I'm gonna do like a super long 3-4 hour live stream tonight. I'll be honest with you all. In the world of film, um, this is kind of our, I don't want to say it's our slow period, but it is award season. So usually what happens during award season is that you'll notice between the months of, I want to say October, December, you'll see fewer releases, except for those that are specifically targeting award consideration. And I'll watch those as well because my commitments to my critics groups that I'm a member of, I have to be able to watch a good amount of films in order to um make a determination as to which films I want to nominate in certain categories. So for the African American Film Critics Association, I've submitted my votes. Love AFCA, my one of the best film critic groups out there, and as well as Critics' Choice. So as a member of Critics' Choice, we're in the middle of our award season, which is why I'm getting so many boxes of items that I'm giving away. You guys are getting bearing the fruit of my labors. I do have some more gifts to give away tonight. I also want to announce the winner of the last giveaway. This one was up for grabs. I was looking at it because I remember the last time we did a giveaway, I think we had a really, really high number of entrants, right? There was 1,500 people entered. And I don't know why, but this one kind of flew way below that radar. We had 50 people enter, 50. So this is a really good chance for, if you entered, you have a much higher chance of winning. So I want to touch on that. I also want to touch on why I wasn't live streaming on Monday. Besides the fact that, From has kind of ended, some folks were really primarily here to talk about From, dive into the mystery together. I still have more From stuff to come. I'm going to announce it. I'm right now, I'm in the last stages of scheduling an interview with AJ Simmons, aka Randall. So Randall's going to be joining us on a live stream soon. I'm still also trying to get some other folks to join. We'll see if it happens. You guys know I was trying to get John Griffin, Jeff Pinkner, and Jack Bender to join the live stream. Big shout out to those who did get an interview with them. I'm going to see if I could throw my name in the hat, and let's see what happens. Let's see what else we got. Where are my notes? Here we go. Let me put these over here where I can see them. I got no, I can put them over here. I got a couple screens. There we go. So tonight I also want to give you guys the reason why I wasn't live streaming again on Monday. And that's because I went and attended the celebration of Black Cinema Award Show in Los Angeles this past weekend. It was a really, really, really cool event. Let me just bring it up for anybody who's not aware of what this award show is and what it is about. Way too many tabs open sometimes. Here we go. Present, share screen, window. Here we go. So, celebration of Black cinema. It is one of the many, many, many award shows that happen throughout the year. This one happened to have a few honorees that I was really highly interested in meeting and seeing and get an opportunity to make connections with some of the talent and the talent reps out there. Would you say, Dragnet? I still have a ton of questions. Good. Start hitting me up with them. I'm gonna, you know how I am with my ADHD. I'm gonna start interjecting and answering questions as we go forward. But Tyler Perry was honored at this award show. Regina King, John David Washington, all received awards. What'd you say? Also, you saw E-Man's pics? Yeah, E-Man. You know, he follows me around. This guy, he's like, I don't know. He just follows after me, wants to steal all my shine and all my thunder. Whenever I say I'm doing something cool, he go like taking notes. Word. I'm joking. Big shout out to E-Man. E-Man, my brother. He's the one, I think he's the one who first inspired me to apply for membership with Critics' Choice. It's a really, really hard group to be a member of. Like, I know some folks who have been trying to be a member of Critics' Choice for a while. It is not easy. So I'm very, very happy to be a member of this group and to be able to attend. Me too, Red Reaper. I swear, look, all night I was sitting there talking to Eamon. I'm like, you gonna see your twin? I just need y'all to stand next to each other for 5 seconds so the multiverse could collapse. Like, he didn't like these jokes. But yeah, I was able to attend. I was able to see the award show, see all of the amazing honorees. Regina King is one of my favorite filmmakers in Hollywood, to be honest with you. She is the director of some really cool movies. She did One Night in Miami. She did Shirley this year. And I love everything she did with The Watchmen, with Damon Lindelof, and that whole comic book performance. Regina King is one of my favorite creators, and she's been the wild part is that she's been doing this for decades. This woman don't look a day over 35 at most, but she's actually been around since the 90s. Worked on Friday. Y'all remember Friday when she was Craig's sister? Like the rap. like y'all remember that? Yo, shout out to Regina King, doing this for decades. She is one of the best out there to do it. Voiced one of my favorite animated characters with the Boondocks. Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Look, right here we go. Let me see your comments right here. Just strictly off of Boondocks, she's a legend. Yes, absolutely. Boys in the Hood. Yes. 35. You know, to each their own. To me, she looks really, really, really good. So I'm impressed with the way that she's carrying herself. She's aging like fine wine. She's absolutely getting better as she gets older. Um, Definitely one of my favorite creators out there. What up, Michael Nassas? Appreciate you coming through. Oh, you over here from the new Blerd order. Appreciate you coming through. The Blerds are coming through. They said they might be a little late, so I'm expecting Vince and maybe Yaz to stop by. I'm hoping Yaz could give us one of her Yaz breakdowns of one of her shows. So I'm really really hope getting excited for that to happen. Oh yeah, Regina did start in the 80s on 227. A lot of people bring up 227. The thing is, for me with 227, I was single digits, right? Like I was like 6 or 7, and I kind of watched 227, but I don't think I really uh, ingested or really absorbed 227 the way that others did that were a little bit older than I was. Um, I do remember a lot of good things about it. I do remember liking it. I think for me, the easiest show for me to relate to at the time was Different Strokes, just because I could see myself in Arnold, right? So, but 227 was right there. It's just never something that floats to the top of my head. But yeah, this was a really cool event. Michael Rainey Jr. was also awarded something. Cynthia Erivo, who stars in Wicked, she was there as well, looking fantastic. Yo, the speech she gave, like, here's the thing about it. I think it's going to air on Stars in February or March. They're actually going to televise it. I don't want to give too much away because it's such a really cool event. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But her speech was so moving. Like, award shows can be, they're not everybody's cup of tea because it's a room full of artists just trying to like be very expressive, and that can go in a lot of different directions. But the things that she said, the way that she delivered her speech, I think between her, Regina, and Tyler Perry gave the best speeches. So Tyler Perry, I'll switch to Tyler Perry in a second, but she gave a fantastic speech. She was looking great. She's a tiny woman. Like, I was towering over her. I was like, yo, I didn't know she was that size. Jarrell Jerome was there. Jay Farrell hosted. Man, you'll see. I ain't gonna say nothing. He was really funny. He was really, 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 really funny last night. But you'll see. You'll see. But yeah, it was a great night. All brought together by the Sean Edwards, who is the executive producer of the whole show. Sean is a really, really cool guy. I emailed him like months ago, like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I was just like, yo, I want to go. That's it. But he was like, yeah, that's it. You're approved. I was like, all right, cool. Um, Kelly Rowland was there because she actually presented the award to Tyler Perry for the night. And she was looking, oh my gosh, Kelly looks fantastic. Kelly looks amazing. Like you look like you still in Destiny's Child, girl. You look like you still in Destiny's Child. But yeah, there was a lot of good, cool people there. Morris Chestnut was there. Actually, let me pull up some of my photos, right? I have some photos from the event as well. So if you guys will bear with me and indulge me for a moment with some of my own photos from the event. I'd like to share some of that stuff with you all before we move on to some of our topics tonight. And this is what I was doing, right? This is why I wasn't live streaming on Monday. I had initially set up the live stream for Monday, and then I think somewhere like Friday afternoon, I was like, oh shoot, I'm getting on a plane. Like, what am I doing? I'm not gonna live stream from the award show. Like, that would have been dope, but that wouldn't have been, that wasn't gonna happen. So I was able to go there. Man, this is not the best photo. Blame E-Man, right? Yo, your friends are supposed to be like, yo, take them wrinkles out your shirt, fix your pants. He ain't do none of that. He ain't do none of that. I don't understand why he let me do this. Look at that. You see this? You see this? This is supposed to be my friend. He let me do this, but at least not all the photos were like this. I probably just picked the worst one and put this one up. But I was able to meet some legends out there. I was able to meet the legend Tommy Davidson. He was in the house that night. Tommy Davidson, for all of you who are familiar, he is a 90s legend. He is a black television legend. from In Living Color. Some people might remember him from Booty Call with Jamie Foxx. He's been in so many movies, so many television shows. He's just, and he was real approachable. Like, here's the weird thing. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Tommy, man, I'd love to get a picture with you. He's like, oh yeah, of course. And he turns around and takes a picture, and then and I'm like, sometimes some celebrities are like, all right, you got your picture, and they move on. Tommy is that a different kind of dude. He took the picture and he was like, all right, so what do you want to talk about? And I'm like I'm unprepared. Like, when I do interviews, I have questions lined up. I'm like, I didn't even know I was going to run into you. You want to hang out? Right. So Tommy Davidson is such a cool dude. We sat there, we exchanged some stories. He's from I think he said he's from DC, but he used to always hang out in Harlem. He would sometimes go up to the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. Really cool dude. I had like a decent conversation with him. Nothing too long because again, I was completely starstruck, completely unprepared. Said my hellos, said my goodbyes, chatted up for a bit, and I let this man enjoy the rest of his evening. Um, Me and the wife, brought my wife to the award show, which is her first time coming with me to an award show. Really, really glad that she was able to make it out there. Really big help you know, it's one thing when you want to start a conversation with someone by yourself. It's another thing when you have a beautiful woman with you, because then she just complements the deal, right? She just greases the wheels, like, oh, who's this beautiful tall woman standing next to you, right? And I was like, put your heels on, so she could kind of tower over me. But yeah, took my wife out to that incredible. Yeah, yeah, yes, definitely a big date night. Definitely a big date night. I try to take my wife out on at least one date a month, usually two, sometimes one. This one, I'm good till January. I am good till January, so I'm good there. So me and the wife was able to go. She was able to see celebrities. I was like, "Who you want to see? Who are you excited to see?" She was like, "Tyler." I'm like, "Just Tyler? Anybody else?" There's a lot of people. Kelly Rowland's here. Where's Tyler? She's like, okay, all right. So my wife was able to come. That was amazing. Oh, oh, I didn't even mean to drop this bomb on y'all. I met Hawkman. I met Cross. I met the man that'll hopefully be, I don't know, in my opinion, one in the running for T'Challa, right? Like Aldous Hodge himself. Um, oh, Yaz is here. Oh, you didn't have the link? All right, I got you right now. Let me send you the link. Yaz, I know you got a. I hope you got a recap for us. I didn't know you was here. Let me send it to you real quick. Uh, uh, there you go. Just sent it to you. Vince, I know you got the link. Yeah, play. All right, you know what? I'm gonna put it right where everybody can see it. There you go. Yeah, all have it now. Thank you for coming through. So yeah, I was able to meet the man, the legend himself, Aldous Hodge. I'm out. This was really cool. This was a fun little thing. I'm rooting for him too, Gothic chick. Like, I don't know how many people are actually in consideration if they do decide to like bring back T'Challa or have a T'Challa variant, but all throughout the movie of Black Adam, when I saw him as Hawkman, I was getting a lot of T'Challa energy. I was getting a lot of T'Challa energy. He's killing it right now in Cross. That show's already been renewed for season 2. They announced that the show had like 40 million viewers in like since release. That's a crazy big number. That's a crazy big number. That's incredible. So all the love, all the support to this man. I'm rooting for him. I definitely would like to see more from him. Definitely looking forward to Cross season 2. If you haven't checked out Cross yet, check it out. It is such a good show. Um, and who else did I meet? Who else did I meet? There was some other people I met. Who else did I meet? I found him. I found him. I did it. I did it. We did it. We did it. I know I was supposed to be sitting here live streaming talking about From, but I had to go meet Boyd. I had to go meet Boyd. I had to go meet Boyd. Vince said we look like turtleneck twins. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You know, it's one thing to like interview them. To me, I'm hanging out with the dude having drinks. And the cool thing is that I'm trying to think how much I can say, right? The cool thing is that I see you there. The cool thing is that I was allowed to go behind the curtain. I was allowed to go behind the scenes. I was allowed to go in the green room. So it's not like I just sat there and on the floor and talked to the dude. Then we went in the back and had some drinks. And that was really, really cool. So that was, the funny thing is like I met him, right? I met him and I'm like, it's finally good to meet you. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. You meet thousands of people. You don't remember me. And he's like, I really do remember your face. And I'm doing my best Harold impersonation. I really do remember your face, but I just don't remember where from. And I was like, I dressed up as you for Comic-Con and you posted it. And he's like, oh, that was you. That was so cool. He's like, yes. Oh my gosh, that was so flattering and blah. So anytime I need to remind Harold who I am, I'm gonna ring the bell. I'm gonna just ring the bell and be like, that's us. That's us right there. That is us. So I got a chance to meet Harold, got to chop it up with him. Again, I know some folks already saw it. E-Man post his photos with him. I got to meet him. It was a really, really, really cool moment. Let's see what else we got. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you coming through and I'm trying out here. Gothic Chick, I see you like on both streams. That's amazing. Thank you for that support. Melanie Groove, that's a great. Thank you, man. I wasn't sure about the turtleneck, right? Because I got a big head. I was like, I'm gonna look like a lollipop. I don't know if I want to do that, but I was like, then I put it on. My wife gave me her seal of approval. It worked out. If it always ask your wife, fellas, like do whatever they say you got to do, even if you got to put on the whole outfit like 2 weeks before and you're like, can I just put on the shirt, put on the whole damn thing and let you know. Okay, just do yourself a favor. But that was cool. I got to meet Harold. I do want to talk about a few things. Let's see, I see Vince is over here. He looked like he eating chicken. Yaz is about ready. She's hopping in. So I got a couple topics I wanted to discuss tonight. They're not prepared, so I'm gonna just because I didn't tell them what I wanted to talk about. So there's a couple things I did want to talk about. I want to talk about Kraven the Hunter. I know that just did their big release. I want to talk about Silo, but the bad news is I only saw the first two episodes. But I did see the first two episodes. I want to talk about Creature Commandos. I finally saw the movie The Watchers from Ashana Night Shyamalan, M. Night's daughter. That was really, really good movie. I know a lot of folks who were watching From were like, yo, you need to watch The Watchers. And I was like, watch The Watchers? Are you trying to be funny? Like, but yeah, no, that's really a movie. It was really cool. Another thing I want to talk about is E-Man. I don't know if you guys saw it. E-Man had an opportunity to interview John Griffin and I think Jeff Pinkner, the head writer and head producer of From, and he got to talk to them for like he told me he was only going to talk to them for 30 minutes. The interview ended up being like an hour. So it's an hour interview. I'm not going to poach his whole interview, but there are some choice moments in the interview that I thought were really interesting that I wanted to touch on. And I wanted to just get your thoughts on what happened in that interview. What do you guys got? Let's see. Turtlenecks are coming back. Yeah, I'm bringing them back. Me and my turtleneck twin. Thank you so much, Melanie. Gothic Chick, I probably would have fainted. The people in that room, it was a lot of amazing people in there. I brought Boyd home. He's home now. He's home there. Mr. Fish and Loaves himself. He's back. Mr. Young Dame. Mr. Young Dame. Are you new around here? I don't think I've seen you around here. Where are you from, Mr. Young Dame? You got to let me know where you're checking in from. I can't hear your voice, but I can see your name. If you could tell me where you're from, what city, that's a big help for me. That's where I can, maybe I've been to your city, and it helps me feel like we make more of a connection that way. Facts. I lay my clothes out and get my wife's approval sometimes. My wife is different. I can't just lay them out. I have to actually put them on, right? Like I'll have like the turtleneck and the jacket, and she'll be like, but put on the pants. And I'm like, you need to see the pants to tell me if the turtleneck works. She's like, yes. And where's your belt? So I got to do the whole thing. So yeah, definitely get your wife's opinion. Hi from Romania. Oh my goodness. Oxanti, Romania. Okay, Google. What time is it in Romania? Time in Romania. Ooh, you up late tonight, Ox? 0x. It's 0x. I know I'm saying Ox, but it's 0x Zanti. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. I haven't been to Romania yet. I have not been to Romania yet. I just was talking to my wife and my cousin about stopping in Paris and in Rome next summer. But I want to do travel sooner than that. Like I've been trying to twist my wife's arm about going back to Hawaii and when we're going to go back to Dubai, because those are the two greatest places on earth. I definitely want to go back there. Okay, Google, stop. I don't know how many I got Google, but I know they're telling you the time now. Let's see. Let me bring some of these people up in here. I know they're waiting in the wings. First, let me start with Yaz. You ready, Yaz? You good? Give me a thumbs up. I see. All right, you ready? Yaz, thank you so much for joining us tonight, everybody. Yaz, the model.
What's up, Anthony? How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm a little jet lagged. I'm a little tired, but that's what coffee is for.
You worked your normal today too?
I worked my normal today too. So some people don't remember I have a day job, so I work today. I have my job's holiday party tomorrow, and then I don't know how I'm gonna survive that and then crawl my ass back to work on Friday. So yeah, this is gonna be a problem. What else we got?
You and Boyd looking like twins right here. You just got the brown jacket and he got the black jacket right here. This is like, look at his smile though. Like he's cheesing. You're not even cheesing. He's cheesing. Can we just just have a monumental moment right there and just,
this was right after I told him who I was. And then he was like, oh my God. And like that smile did not go away for a while. And I got him to drink more than Sable bourbon. We was putting back some tequila that night, so it was really fun.
Okay, y'all on that friendly note, you got him in, you got his personal digits?
No, I ain't get his personal digits, but I got his his agent's digits. So that's just as good. That's just as good.
Yeah, that's bread and butter right there.
Only directors give me their phone number, which is weird to me when they do it. Actors, they know better, but directors be like, yeah, call me.
Even at this stature, it's still weird.
For a director, like I'm used to so many people saying, here, contact my agent, go through my PR person, go through them, right? They don't really want to have a direct line with the press, or a journalist or whomever. So yeah, this was it's weird when directors do it. They're just like, all right, can you just text me?
It's your cadence.
I guess, or I keep good company. So like, I'm trying to figure out how much I can say and how much I can't say. I'm trying to be very careful because I didn't talk to people about what I'm going to say. But I went to lunch with like a PR person. I'm not going to say who. And we're just sitting there, we're chilling at a hotel's restaurant. Thank God she brought her credit card because it was a really big bill. And as we're sitting there having lunch, she's just like, oh, the director just emailed me. I got to whip out my laptop real quick. And it's like a director of like a major big movie. And I'm like, tell him I said hi. So it's like, it was a cool event. I love going to LA, and this is the best time to go because this is when the studios are the nicest.
Yeah, valid points. The end of the year.
let's see. Melanie says Iceland is a great place. I've been to Iceland. Iceland is a great place. Iceland is very freaking expensive.
I bet.
That I don't like.
How long's that flight?
From New York to Iceland, it was short. It was like maybe 5.5, 6.5 hours, something crazy. Like nothing too crazy. It's like the same as New York to LA.
Okay, that's not bad at all, actually, considering.
It's just that it costs more to live there than it does in New York, which I was not prepared for. Right?
Oh,
like
interesting.
I went to Subway, and I was like, yeah, give me a 6-inch a soda and some chips. They were like, all right, $27. I was like, the fuck?
A 6-inch?
I was like, yo, you did this. I can't tell you what I said, but this better come with more than a sandwich.
That's behind the screen right there. I'll remind you. I kind of want to hear what you did say to them.
Yo, I was so mad. Because then I had to order some for my wife too, and like we just spent $50. And she was like, yeah, and I want a cookie. I was like, fuck.
Like, you want a cookie too? The fucking sandwich is $30.
Like, we're on a diet. I tried to save money. I tried to save money and go get a hot dog afterwards, and the hot dog was like $8. And it was like, I'm like, yo, this is like, I feel like I'm at like a sporting event. You ever go to like a basketball game and try to buy food? It's like that.
Yeah. They hike up the price. It's like universal prices right there. You want water? Oh, that costs $15.
Yes. Vince said Dubai is overrated. That's because you ain't never been. I'm just messing with you. Nah, Dubai is not overrated though. I like Dubai. Vince is gonna be like, I live in Dubai. He's like, I have a place in Dubai. What's what you think? But nah, I like Dubai. It depends on where you're at, where you're staying, and what you're doing, and the time of year that you go. Right? Don't go in the summer months. Go in the winter. Just do yourself that favor. If you can, spend the extra money. I was trying to be cheap. I went in like September, which was right at the dog day. It was like the last few days of summer. I'm like, it's not going to be that bad. It was 110 on a normal day, like at sunrise.
No, sir.
Oh man, but yeah. So I want to talk about a few things. I'm sitting here. I'm going off on tangents. Michael Lamont, like, he looks familiar. Yeah. There's your hint. That's who that is. Oh man, Casey and JoJo. Casey and JoJo.
That was great. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I had a delayed reaction right there.
Oh, that was great. Man.
Yeah, Brock, E-Man interview. I'm gonna definitely hop into that. So yeah, I got to hang out with them. E-Man was wearing a blue suit. I was wearing a red suit. I kept making a joke all night that we look like Mario and Luigi. He didn't think it was funny at all because he's like tall. He's like a tall dude. But yeah, let me go ahead. Let me move on to the next thing. So Craven the Hunt. Oh, yes. Did you have anything that you wanted to chat about? I didn't know if you had your recap ready. If you had something you wanted to run through tonight. Otherwise, I'm gonna just start moving through topics and ask you to chime in.
Yeah, that's fine. Start moving through topics. I did kind of have a recap. I did watch both episodes, so I have like a, like not a full Yaz because I didn't get to like watch it, like my normal before the show type thing. So I'm like in the middle of work right now, technically speaking.
Okay. This is for Creature Commandos?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So I did want to touch on something real quick. I'm not going to touch on this for very long. I did want to touch on Creature Commandos. Not Creature Commandos. I'm sorry. Craven the Hunter. Jeez, I'm not prepared. Now some of you might know that Craven the Hunter is coming out, I think this weekend, right? They had a premiere recently. Some critics have already started to review the film. I didn't see what the Rotten Tomatoes was for it. Let me pull that up real quick while we at it.
Oh, so this movie wasn't on the we're canceling list because I mean Sony pretty much canceled like all of their Spider-Man, villains projects. And this is, I like how they announced that right after they're like, we're for real dropping it this weekend. And then they announced that we're literally just doing away with all of the Spider-Man villains because the story is just, they have nothing to go on. And it's Sony, who's really excited for a Sony film.
I see why. Like, this is like what? This is like the 5th movie to premiere Rotten.
Yeah. 13? Did I say 13%?
Here, let me zoom in for those who can't see it. That's a 1 and a 3 in that order. 13% with 45 reviews. Man, that's not good. Oh, and you can't even see the critic reviews.
Yeah, because they want people to make their own opinions. They were probably that bad. They were like, no, we can't post this until it drops.
Damn. Oh, you know what? I think I don't even know if the embargo's lifted, but I know the movie's supposed to come out like this weekend. And you let me know when you're ready, bro. Oh, you already hit me up. Let me see. All right. You let me know when you're ready. Just give me. Oh, you ready? All right. Let me bring in Vince to the stage. Thank you, Vince. Appreciate you for coming through.
Oh, we like, okay. What's good?
Oh, you here?
Man?
You here now?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm in the comments. I'm like, whoa. Okay. First of all, yeah, man. KC JoJo is on point. Whoever got that deserves the prize.
All City. He killed it. He killed it.
Second of all, Craven come out tomorrow, technically. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already geeked up, ready to see it, even though Yaz will tell you that this is one of the movies where I did a complete 180 on. When it first came out, I was like, yo, I'm not trying to see. And I was like, yo, why they keep putting out these movies? Like, why? Who's asking for Craven? Who's asking for Morbius? Who's asking for Madam Web? Like, who is asking for? I mean, we get it. Like, you're going to the very bottom of the barrel to scrape for whatever the cheapest movie production it is to make, and it's not working. I haven't even seen Craven yet, and I hate it. No, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. I did change my tune about Craven once I saw how violent it is, and once they changed it to rated R, because at first they was going to do PG-13, and then they made it rated R, and I was like, oh, and then they even started showing the violence depicted in the trailers. Eyes getting stabbed, bones getting cracked, blood splattered. Now you're speaking my language. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with very low expectations tomorrow. But
you got tickets.
Oh, bro, it's Marvel. Look, I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all taught me out of Venom, okay? And I'm gonna keep it real. Here's what happened with Venom. I didn't go see Venom, not only because it was getting bombed like crazy by reliable sources, including yourself, and I don't even, but also, I mean, on a personal tip, I typically go with my daughters to go see this movie. And so on the one night I had available, because I had to go out of town, my daughter, I think y'all remember this. I think I was the next day I was like, y'all supposed to go see it with Kiki, but she was like, I'm supposed to go somewhere with my friends tonight. So I was like, so I was faced with the dilemma. I was like, okay, I could go see it by myself, or I can hold out. And I held out, and it just never came about. So
have you seen it yet?
I still ain't even at this point. I'm probably just gonna see it on Stars or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to really rush out. I mean, we on to the next villain movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the next trash production. It's already bad reviews. I'm not rushing to be disappointed. You know, so I don't know. I have better expectations for Craven though. All right, I have. But now I know it's going to get bombed, but before we even talk about the movie, can we read what that says? It says Aaron Taylor Johnson, 34, supported by his wife, 57. I had to stop right there. I was not aware of this.
This is old news. He's been married. They married when he was 18.
Okay.
And they had a kid. They have 2 daughters together within the first 2 years.
All right.
Okay.
This missed me on Lipstick Alley. I wasn't here for this story. This is juicy for me. I know that this is old, but since he's in the limelight right now, I suspect this topic may come back to fruition, to discussion, and that's quite the gap for a couple, for a young 18-year-old. I don't know how deep. You know what? We ain't got to go into. We ain't got. I ain't trying to derail the convo, but
into women. He wasn't into women his age. Okay, they just intellectually weren't on the same wave path as him, and maybe he's one of those dudes where, you know what I'm saying, like he mentally, you know, peaked earlier than like normal guys do, and he needed someone that was on the same intellectual level as him. And
nah. He needed a
I'm just saying,
mom.
listen, intellect can be sexy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you never know.
100%.
Who knows what she taught him is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They got 2 daughters. She locked it down at 18. That's all I'm saying. They still married. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm a sapio. I get it. Intellect is sexy. Hallelujah. Ain't nobody gonna argue against that. But my God, at 18, have you really lived? I mean, I'm not trying to look. I don't want to go too crass, but everybody got to have their whole phase. He didn't at 18. Did he have his? Is his wife permitting him to have his?
We don't know what they did.
Right, and I was just about to say, his first movie was Kick-Ass. So if you really think about it, he was super young, like before 18 in that movie. So if you really think about it, who knows what experience happened between that and then after that movie came out, his next hot movie like that he was in, that we were like, oh shit, he's in another fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like it took a couple years until he got older and grew into that, you know, manly stature before he came back. So I'm just saying.
Right. 18
so
was not. Yeah, okay.
They married in 2012. This is him and his wife. This is him and their daughters.
Oh my God. Yo, that's the story, bro.
They have their stepdaughters. They have daughters.
They look all similar ages, like the kids and the dad, and like, yeah.
One of them is 6 years younger than him.
Mom looks good. That's all I'm saying.
So you know what? Here's the thing, because like sometimes, you know, I the first thing that popped in my mind was like at 18, you get an older woman. I know a lot of locker room guys, they'll sit there and they'll pat this dude on the back, like, oh, you bagging 100%. Older women. They'll be sitting there, all
myself included.
But then, you know, when he marries her, everybody's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like,
yeah, well, I'll tell you what, in my head, it goes to a dark place. You know what I'm saying? It goes to a do what you want, just don't embarrass me type of place. Yeah. But I'm going to give you this stability. We come into the fold with full-on benefits, including alimony. I think that this could be a win-win. I ain't going to lie, though. I'm just questioning, if this was in reverse, would this be a bigger topic? If it looked like somebody, I mean, because remember when Chris Evans was dating that one girl, and he caught hell for messing with the girl from what's the show she was on? Ninja Nuns or what was it?
Something like that, yeah.
Wife, some.
Oh, you're talking about the. Oh yes.
Yeah, he caught hell for that because she was like 18, 19. He was 30,
and they married each other. Yeah, for 7.
Yeah, and he was supporting her movies and all this other stuff. And this dude is 23 years her junior, and they got married when he was.
She directed him, and that's where they met.
When he was 18, that means that there was shenanigans in advance, bro.
Go for it, yes.
So the reason why, this woman locked this child down at the age she did is because he did Kick-Ass. All right, he did Kick-Ass in 2012, 100%. Right? 2013, absolutely. He did Kick-Ass 2, okay? And then, in 2012 also, Savages came out. Do you remember that fucking movie? Do you remember that fucking movie with Blake Lively? I'm sorry, but like, all I'm saying, like, I'm just saying that you see him in a whole nother light, and I'm talking about like literally in a whole nother light, and you see him in his birthday suit, and I'm just saying those dreads.
Is this the one that she directed?
Nah, she directed
Kick-Ass.
I can't remember it. No, she ain't direct no Kick-Ass.
She direct Kick-Ass?
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Him in more ways than one.
I'm trying to look it up
I
right
see
now.
that.
But I'm just saying, just you know, free your mind a little bit and just remind yourself how fucking crazy Savages was. How like it was an implicit adult movie for 2012, and it was violent, it was sexy, it was fucking like drug-related cartel, and he was the centerfold for that. I'm saying him and Blake Lively and the other dude. I can't remember what the other dude's name was, but I'm just saying they both all three of them.
Oh, I remember what you talk about now.
So, you know what I'm talking about? Like, so, and Salma Hayek was in this movie too.
They met on the movie
called again? Savages?
Nowhere Boy. Nowhere Boy was the name of the movie they met.
Oh, that's his first fucking movie. That was his first movie he ever did in 2009, bro.
And
and what year was he born?
18. He was 18. She was 42.
Okay, so they met. Oh my God.
The year he was born. Let me see.
Hold on. So they met on the set in 2008. They announced their engagement at the film's premiere in 2009. And they got married.
Oh my God.
When he was 21.
Nobody's talking about this.
It happened in 2000. It's 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
giving Diddy, bro.
Yeah, this is when all that shit.
Hold on. But this kind of stuff happens in Hollywood all the time. Let's not forget Hugh Jackman was dating a woman 13 years older than him. He's 55. She's 69.
All right, they're both adults. He's 18. Like the dude is. I mean, I have 18-year-olds still in high school, bro. Like. And the daughters are his age. Yo, that's
5 years
crazy.
younger.
That's Eminem type. You come home and your friend is with your mom type thing. Like,
I'm done.
I missed this boat. I missed this. I'm so mad that where was my head buried when this was announced? Because this would have took me aback the way it is right now. If I could turn.
And look what she's married.
I mean, he's a stud,
he's got an 8-pack.
If I can interject. All I'm saying,
ahead,
since you brought up Eminem's mom, rest in peace, okay?
Well, hey, I didn't kill her. I'm just talking about it.
She just recently passed away. She just recently passed away.
Oh, last week? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, she legit. Eminem's mom, legit. She kicking up dust right now. So rest in peace, mama. We used her as a reference. So rest in peace, showing our respect to the deceased. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I mean, I didn't really know her like that, but all right, that's
cool.
But again, I don't know what type of relationship.
Sound like she was a bad mom too.
I don't know how their relationship was. This was them when they were younger, when they were dating.
Look how cute and happy they are. Look, he's
this is
no lip hair, and she looks like she's like in her late 20s. It's fine.
This is so bad. It's worse than I thought. It's worse. That stuff you just showed, that picture of him as a grown man with a 6-pack and all that, that's not what she met, bro. She did not meet that dude. She met the dude from Diaries of a Wimpy Kid.
This is the man she molded him to be.
Thank you. She said, listen, you are my doll. I'm going to mold you into my Adam creation. And she fucking molded his ass and changed his career around. And now he's a sought-off with a good fucking career, except for possibly this Craven movie. That was a
but to help recover before it goes down the toilet, they dropped that 28 years later trailer, and it's already over. Like, I don't even care. I'm looking at 28 years later because that
he's in that.
Yes, he's like the main star.
I haven't seen it yet. I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see the trailer? Oh,
I saw you dropped it in the group, but I didn't get a chance to check it out.
That is happening.
But can I say this real quick? This is so. If I may, I know you're trying to change the subject. I know you're trying to change something so bad. But let me just say this real quick. This does not help those who are skeptical about how to make it in Hollywood, because there is a notion out there that one has to give up something of their soul or something of themselves in order to make it. And this shows a direct line from his relationship to his career, bro. And it's now, don't get me wrong. Look, bro. She
don't
is directing him in other movies.
We don't.
You think she don't know?
This is speculation right now, okay, Vince? Because I'm just saying, when they hooked up, it was when like MILF, guilt, all that shit was very popular, dude, and it was like a thing, and like everyone was rooting you on for having those. Okay, yeah, but now it's more frowned upon. I mean, like, look what you just said about Chris Evans and freaking, you know what I'm saying, like the ninja nun.
For men, it is.
No, for men and women it is, because freaking look at who is
hold on.
Lala dates men that are younger in their 20s, okay, and that was a whole big fucking phenomenon, like last year or some shit like that. So I'm just saying, it's still a big problem. It's just now it's more frowned upon. Back then, it was just like, oh, word, you got you some experience. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Now, like it's like, oh man, I can't believe. You know what I'm appalled that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's love is love, dog. If this man's happy and his career is shining.
Hey, yes. Let me for the sake of convo, we'll talk about this more on my live later. But I just wanted to be stated that this is I disapprove. And good luck, Aaron. But I'm still gonna see you in the movie
when we have that conversation.
Anyway, Dune Silo. My bad. I done got real.
I was trying to talk about Craven. So
okay, Craven, let's do it.
Real quick, Craven.
I got ADHD.
Oh my goodness, Gabriel. Gabrielle, we're gonna get to it. Gabrielle,
that's exactly how she look right now too. Like,
can we talk about Dune or Silo, please?
Am I in the right place?
We're gonna talk about it. Craven movie. We know this is the end of this Sony villain Spider-Verse. This is the last entry. It's going out with a whimper. It's got what did I say? 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
13%.
I would not hold that to the movie though. I think that the critics are always a little bit more. If it's not an Oscar or Academy Award premiere appearance, like Cats got a good review from the critics, but everybody else hated. So I'd let the audience talk. Let the people speak first.
We're gonna see when it gets that other rating to see what is it? It's like a pop. It's not a popcorn. I think it is popcorn. If it's a tomato or popcorn,
I don't think it's gonna get 90 something.
Oh, here we go. We got some reviews now. They're showing. Here's the thing. My first thing was, for me, I had a couple red flags because one, I didn't get an invite. Now, this is something like normally studios, this is abnormal to not be invited to a screening. Normally studios are like, oh, I need all the press I can get. I'm going to set up the screening. The screening is going to be like a week, maybe even 2 before the actual release. This movie had a screening like yesterday and today for opening tomorrow. And if you wanted to see it, you had to contact them because they weren't just inviting people. Like it almost felt like it was keeping it under the radar. So when I saw that I didn't get an invitation, that was my first red flag. They had the premiere in New York. I know you're reading them. They had the premiere in New York. I didn't get invited to that neither. That was my second red flag. And now we're seeing what some of the and the fact that the screenings were the week of release. That's 3 red flags. That's 3 strikes. If a movie is having a release, a screening the week of release, or they say this movie is for the fans, just throw the movie away. That's not a good sign. What are you reading? Go ahead, Yaz. I see you cracking up.
I'm just laughing right now because that is so true. Well, everything you're saying is spot on. Like, you know, it's sketchy how they did this knowing that possibly this movie was not going to hit. So they were like, we're not going to spend a bunch of money on promoting, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just on, you know, reaching out to multiple critics. We're just going to do a handful of them. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, go from there. And it already has a 13%. Like, obviously they weren't trying to cape for this movie as hard as, you know what I'm saying, they did for others.
It's also bad when you have the director come out and say, please give my movie a chance. Like, that's already letting you know, like, yo, they've got a bad track record and they're aware of it. They're aware that their track record is not good, that they have to say, please give my movie a chance.
The sad thing about this, though,
go.
As a lifelong diehard Spider-Man fan, I have to once again reiterate that the sadness isn't just that the movie's bad, which is also bad because you could have probably made a good movie out of this. But the sad part is that of all of the characters in the Spider-Man universe, they seem to be grasping at the most boring, most mundane, most cumbersome, the least interesting villains, except for Venom, in which Venom is, listen, I know that these are Spider-Man based characters, but Venom is directly impacted by Spider-Man. Like he
Yes.
does not exist without Spider-Man. So to build on him without having any inkling of Spider-Man, with the exception of some post-credit scene where you're basically loosely aligning yourself with the MCU, shows the malpractice that is the Sony Venom villain universe, whatever it is. And now I think it has finally hit them in the face. Oh, this doesn't work. You know, it does work, Sony. Enter the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse movies are breaking records, and there's nobody showing up to do any stunts. There's no stars that have to have any major contracts. You're sitting in the studio, and the animation and the stories themselves sell. But here you are once again, grasping at the opportunity to put a hot bod on screen, thinking Aaron Taylor is going to be enough eye candy to get people to come out to the movies. And hopefully, I haven't seen it yet, hopefully the critics are wrong, but if they prove to be right, this won't be nothing but a grave that Sony dug its own self.
Carla Hayes said, the misfire Kraven the Hunter has a lion-inspired superhero and wildlife protection themes. Tell me that's not the exact antithesis of Kraven the Hunter's origin. Right? He was not about trying to protect animals at all.
Right.
Not even in the least. He's hunting. He is the poacher. He's a poacher.
Literally. Him and his girl. I mean, the girl had the better intention. She's trying to make some shit out of the, some stuff out of the scientist element of it. But he's the whole story goes on its head. It's just not interesting. Kraven, this is like a souped up Jungle Book, bro. There's nothing fascinating about. I mean, but the fascination comes with the violent element. I want to see how violent they get. But man.
Andrew Salazar from Discussing Film said, as the last movie in Sony's universe of Spider-Man villains, Kraven the Hunter couldn't have closed things out on a more pathetic note. This isn't like Madam Web, where you can at least laugh at how bad it is. Just a total waste of time.
I disagree. Go ahead.
That is probably the worst endorsement you could receive, right? Like, it doesn't get much worse than that, saying it's a total waste of time from a critic, from a big platform like Discussing Film.
Yeah. Oh, wait. What's this? What's Julian say?
Oh, Julian says, I bet that reading this, you're thinking I'll give this movie a bad rating, and you're wrong. I was entertained by this movie, not in a it's so bad it's good, but legitimately. In a world without Spider-Man, Lion Man will save us all.
It does. I don't know how to even take this seriously or not.
I don't know who that is. I don't know what platform that is. Riot is. Like, I trust the platforms I know. Like Den of Geek, I'm familiar with. The Rap, I'm definitely familiar with. The Playlist, Rolling Stone. I don't know who that is. One of the few people they invited to screen it early.
Let me ask you this. None of us have seen it yet, but have you ever seen a movie that was terribly reviewed by the critics, but you didn't understand why?
Yeah, Black Adam. I was like one of 5 people who liked it.
Yeah. You're on the other side of the wall with me too. Yeah, that movie was terrible. It was terrible.
I didn't think it was as bad as critics were saying. I'm like, this ain't a good movie, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, I was like, it's like a 6, maybe a 6.5.
Yeah.
Other people's like it's a 3. I'm like,
maybe a 5.
Yeah, this ain't Morbius. This ain't Power Rangers the movie. This ain't.
I don't think Morbius was that bad.
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't. It wasn't great, but I don't think that I think that the scale of trash or gas, there has to be somewhere in the middle, right?
Nah, and I think I'm not comparing turds.
Trash or gas had nothing to do with turd. Now, well, I mean, yeah, maybe you're right, but I mean, there's a mediocre level. Like, there's sometimes a C student in the class that still makes it as a millionaire. I don't think that. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't hate Madam Web. I wanted to. I went into it like, I'm going to hate this. And I didn't hate it. I hated scenes. I hated some acting. I hated some of the elements of it. But as far as a plot goes, it wasn't the worst of plots and origin stories. It wasn't the worst. And 3 Spider women introduced into the Sonyverse. I'm not mad at it, but Sorry,
I heard they didn't
going
get
off
in the
rock.
costume until like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not entirely true. It depends on how you look at it, but it kind of rolls with the story. The story is not about the Spider Women. You know, it's about Madam Web. And I think that what they tried to do, not to deviate from Craven, but this kind of ties into it. What they tried to do is create a theatrical experience that distinguishes itself from the Marvel traditional experience. Now they've already done that in the other movies like Morbius and Venom and all that, but I think this one was even trying to deviate from the superhero element. It read more like a sci-fi thriller, more like a mystery, more like a CSI type film than it did just some action-based, typical Marvel movie. So I saw what it was trying to do, I guess, but I'm a homer. I'm a bit of a Spider-Man biased. I want these projects to succeed, so I might be like giving it a little bit of benefit of the doubt. So that may be true too.
I support that. I'm not going to knock you for it. I want Venom to be good. I wanted the Venom movies to be what I envisioned in my head. I want Spider-Man stuff to all do well because the more Spider-Man projects, the better for me. I love Spider-Man just like you.
100%.
It's just that when these movies stumble, they don't make their box office. They get terrible ratings. It's not helping anybody.
It's not. Yeah, man. And Sony, you just want Sony to be as good as their animated projects.
Now they're gonna focus on that. They're focusing on the animated projects. They're gonna focus on Spider-Man Noir. And
they're doing like DC.
And whatever Marvel's letting them do with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland is RDJ right now for the MCU, even though RDJ is coming back. But as far as Craven goes, I honestly don't think that 13% is a fair. I don't think that's fair, for not even seeing it yet. I think that we got to wait for the audience score.
I'm gonna check it out. Look, Saturday, we'll pull it up.
Yes, we'll debate. We'll see.
Michael Nassis said Morbius was so basura. Fell asleep, woke up, turned it off, finished it the next day begrudgingly.
Wow. Yeah. Morbius is yeah. I mean, the sad part again, Anthony, is not even just that they chose these bad characters, but it's also like I don't like the notion that everybody who's a villain can be rooted for. I love how DC did with Penguin, and we don't like the Penguin. We like the show. You know what I'm saying? We like the show. We don't like him. Yeah, there's some moments where you might be like, oh man, that's horrible. I feel bad for you. But you're not like rooting for him. You're just watching to see what happens. And they're doing this thing with Venom and with Morbius, and I don't know, but possibly with Craven, where they want you to root for the bad guy. These are the villains. And that's the hard part. They should embrace that villain side. And hopefully I see that a little bit more. I know they did a little bit in Venom. That first one, not the second one.
That first one, never again.
Yeah, well, that's when they lost us. I digress.
Yeah, I could talk about the Sony Spider-Man universe forever if I let myself, but I'm gonna.
We got to keep it moving.
Yeah, Gabrielle nailed it. A Sony Spider universe with no Spidey was hard to buy into as it is, but it feels like they're barely put any effort into these live action films.
Yes, please.
It feels like they're trying to make movies without actually reading the books that they're based on.
Spot on. That was exactly what I was about to say. Because literally the comics have the stories in them already. Like you don't even have to write the actual movie. Just make a movie version of the comic. Do you know how interesting it would have been rather than giving us, since Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, instead of giving us some sort of Venom or Madam Web, what's up with Ben O'Reilly and the Scarlet and giving us the whole Clone Wars? Yeah. What's up with giving us anything other than the Spider-Man we know with Peter Parker and making us wait for Miles Morales decades later? There were other Spider-Man Noir coming. Thank you, finally. You know what I'm saying? But we could have got Ben Reilly. We could have had a whole Scarlet Spider universe if they really wanted to. And they didn't even try. They didn't even try. We get him in the Spider-Verse instead of getting him in a live action film. And they made him into a buffoon. He is not a buffoon. Trust. He was the Spider-Man for like 96, 97, 98. Like he was the Spider-Man. Like we didn't know that they tricked us into believing that Peter Parker was a clone. And they didn't even let us know until after all that clone saga was over that that was a bunch of BS. But for a small period of time, I know you read comics too. We didn't know if Peter Parker was Spider-Man. We thought Peter Parker was we thought Ben Reilly had been cloned and they made Peter Parker. Yeah. That's interesting, right? No, they go to Madam Web. they decide to go to Morbius, but you own the rights to Spider-Man. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Don't even get me started with Spider-Boy, Spider-What. Like they could have gone with all of these different Spider people, but no. Oh,
my favorite comic book films are the ones that have comic book creators involved. I'll be honest with you. Right, it doesn't happen all the time, but it used to happen all the time with Marvel, like phases 1, 2, and 3, up until Endgame had comic book creators involved. They were like consulting, they were writing, they were there, they were in the room. The most recent film that I was surprised had a comic book creator involved was Deadpool and Wolverine. It had comic book writer Zeb Wells in the writer room, and he's actually writing Spider-Man. Right, he just finished bringing back Ben Reilly. He made Ben Reilly Spider-Man again for a while.
Again,
yeah. And yo, I don't know about you, but Ben Reilly has some of the coolest Spider-Man costumes outside of Peter himself.
Yeah,
like, those joints are fire.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little weird when he doesn't. I mean, it's strange.
The big spider on his chest.
Yeah, but and I like the hoodie. I love the hoodie element. When he rocks that
one. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Okay. But you know what makes it weird? Like we're so used to yeah. I like the hoodie Joan. The Scarlet Spider, that one's cool too. I'm not too mad. I like the hoodie Joan better though. I like that's me right there. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, them is cool.
I like this one over here.
That's cool. That one's cool. The hoodie Joan is like I just left Planet Fitness and I'm ready to kick some ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that Joe, man. I wrestled with him being blind and blue-eyed and all that too, but it is what it is. Funny story though, and then they also have a Miles Morales clone saga as well. I can't seem to get the last.
I didn't read that.
I can't. I don't know if it's completed. I can't seem to find the full. It is okay. I can't find the actual comic book to read page to page to close the saga. I got like the first issues. Yeah. There he is. So why? I wonder why they never explore the clone aspect in the live cinema. Like there's never really any effort.
Because it wasn't well received when it came out the first time. Like that whole clone saga was very, very disliked.
It was hard to it was, but it kept me reading. It got me interested. I was like, whoa, what do you mean Peter Parker's not? What? You know what I'm saying? Like this,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I stopped reading Miles's comic books. One of my main concerns with Miles is that I don't know if this has changed since, but I don't think ever in Miles' creation that his comic book was ever written or drawn by a black person. Like there's like no black creators working on Miles's book. Like no writers. He was created by Brian Michael Bendis, who's a white guy. Yeah, who's a white guy, but he has like he's adopted a few black kids. Mm-hmm. His wife is white. They adopted black kids, and then they wanted to create characters that their kids could look up to. They were like, "Yo, I see what is going on here. I know I have privilege. Let me start making some black characters for my kids to love." And I don't even own them. He don't even own them.
Well, I mean, and he was inspired by that episode of Community.
He was inspired by that episode of Community with Donald Glover,
where he
credits his daughter. He credits his daughter for making her. I think he made another character like Naomi for DC Comics. I think he created her. She ended up getting a TV show.
Did you watch it? I did. I watched it.
I didn't watch Naomi. I stopped at that point. I was kind of checking out of CW unless it was The Flash.
It was tough to watch. It was tough to watch. But I had to support it because they were putting effort in it, and that's what we asked for,
Yeah.
So, I mean, then I think that's interesting. That goes down a whole nother cascade hill of waterfall.
Yep. I'm not even going to touch on it too much.
Yeah. So let's not go there. But I think that that ultimately The Clone War. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was okay. I
Yeah,
can see why you would stop reading, Miles. Okay.
it was
Yeah.
convoluted. It was convoluted. It was a very convoluted comic. They kept going back and forth on who's the real Peter Parker, who's Ben Riley.
Yeah.
Mary Jane had a baby that Norman Osborn
Yeah.
took, and then we just never saw the baby again. Peter Parker's got a kid out there somewhere, and nobody talks about it. Like Mary Jane
Yeah.
literally had his daughter, and it got kidnapped. It got taken to Europe, and we just never saw it. It was like Judy in Family Matters. She just went upstairs and never came back down.
But she came back down with a different career. If I was thinking. Well, didn't she in one version? Doesn't the actual what happened in the movie happen in the comic as well? Doesn't she end up being like Spider Girl and no,
So
that's a different.
So in a alternate universe, they had a daughter that grew up to be Spider Girl. Yeah, it was a different universe.
Okay, yeah, all right. So I guess that's why you can do it in the multiverse. But yeah, I mean, more of the story is Sony stick to animated movies for now, unless you're going to let Anthony screen them. And in that case,
all of us, we all need to put us in the room where you getting the reactions, those early reactions, the test screenings.
Oh yeah,
put us in there so we can help, because this is not good. I was gonna touch on Silo, but I only saw the first 2 episodes.
Well, can we touch on the
Creature Commandos?
I haven't seen any of that, so I had to come back when y'all get done with that because I don't want it to get spoiled either. Because I ain't like Yaz and Nolly, and then when they're like, "It's okay, you can spoil it," I'd be like, "No, I don't even watch. I don't even watch trailers." So
my recap will not spoil it because basically it's what you'll see in the trailer. I'm just going to give you context to like.
Oh, hold on! If this is a Yaz recap, spoil away, baby. Because Yaz gives the best recaps ever, though. So let me shut up if that's what this is. Pull on up.
Yes, I'm ready to switch to Creature Commandos if you are. Yaz.
I'm ready. If you guys are, let's do it.
Shoot, yeah, man. Let me pull up a chair.
All right, so I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but on HBO Max, James Gunn has officially dropped an animated series. It is called Creature Commandos. Now, the cool part about this series is you will indefinitely see one of the characters from the Suicide Squad movie that we see in the ending credits, and they kind of disappear. So I'm really excited for you to see who that specific creature is and how his story is significant in the growth of this new team that are metahumans, because Amanda Waller is still queen bitch, and she got so don't forget, okay, don't fuck with that bitch. I really thought it was cool how the commander of this crazy ass squad is Senior Rick Flag. What the fuck? I'm sorry, but how did Rick Flag have a fucking hot dad? Let's just talk about that real quick, okay? He's giving me just like sexy dad like vibes this whole entire show. Women will also agree with me, is all I'm saying, because just keep watching and you'll understand. They basically have to go on this secret covert mission to save a princess and protect her in, I believe it's Russia is the country that they're in, because they're pretty much all speaking Russian. And one of her bodyguards is, of course, has the name Alexei, and you will definitely hear a significant voice with that name. And no pun intended if you caught my surprise on that one. So definitely check this show out because it has so many layers, and it is so interesting how they've come back and they've made me honestly fall in love with these crazy looking ass creatures. Okay, so the creatures we have are pretty crazy, and they're all protecting that cute little white girl right there that we were just seeing. This is the princess that Rick Flag is supposed to be protecting, but is he protecting her? Or is he, protecting her private areas? Either which way, you'll have to check that one out and let me know what your thoughts were on that. But these creatures, oh my God. My favorite creature thus far is the bride of Frankenstein has to be the most badass creature out of all of these characters. Don't get me wrong. They all have really cool, significant, quirky, different personalities to themselves, but the fucking bride is hands down the most baddest bitch in this entire crew. And she kind of don't give a fuck about what you say or when you say it. She does what she wants when she wants to, even though she's got an implant in her head. She don't give a fuck because she's already a dead corpse. And the really cool part about this whole entire show is the bad guy is Cersei, this fucking evil, I don't know what to call her. She's a fucking magician or some shit. She's a sorcerer like you've never seen. This bitch is bad. And she can crash a fucking beer can with her mind. So that's pretty badass. The cool part about this whole entire series, I think, is the interaction between all of the characters and kind of how you learn about, why they're technically in jail and how they're going to work together. But some of them are not so keen on working together. Like this radioactive dude right here, I got a feeling he's got more up his skeleton than we think. Keep watching and you'll understand what I mean about that. This show definitely is really cool because it's got the Bride of Frankenstein, and they're not even on the same team. What? That is the most coolest thing I think I've ever fucking seen in my life. And we get backstory on basically how she became the Bride of Frankenstein, how she was created, and what her storyline is, which I honestly, I empathize with this woman. I really, really did. And I'm sure a lot of you will too once you check out this episode. Episode 2 was heartfelt. It was beautiful, but also it was kick ass because the Bride and Frankenstein have been fucking fighting for centuries. Since she was born, she's been trying to kick his ass, and all he wants to do is love her. That's the whole reason he had Victor create him, to love him. She don't love that nigga. She wants nothing to do with him. She's all like putting the Heisman on his ass, as you can see with the punch right here. Yeah. They go centuries with fighting each other, and he is just like a freaking stalker. He just keeps trying to find her throughout the eternity. And you'll definitely get to see more of the dynamic of their relationship and how awesome it is. But I can't wait to see what more storyline and contents that this show has. I don't want to ruin the 2 episodes that are out right now, but all I'm doing is I suggest you go watch this. Watch it completely judgmental free, because this is one of those series where there's really nothing to go off of. So there's really nothing that you can kind of judge off of what's going on here. It's just one of those sit down, have your medicine, your drink, whatever, and just get into it. The storyline is pretty intense and it's actually really good. And the animation is grade A. So definitely check this one out on HBO. This is one you're not going to miss. James Gunn directed, created, and wrote it. And Sean Gunn is actually 2 characters in here he voices. So definitely check this one out and let me know what you guys, what your thoughts are. I'm hype.
Thank you. Oh, man. You ready, Vince?
Oh, God. Tag teaming? Oh.
Well, with questions.
Obviously, yeah. We're not even in the same areas.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm intrigued. And also, you said that Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn is
if I'm not mistaken, he was the guy who inherited the whistle from the blue from
Guardians,
right?
Yeah.
He has
Yondu's. Yes, he has Yondu's.
The whistle thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, questions. Yes. If I'm a fan of Weasel, like Ty is, will I like this show?
You will fucking love this show. I'm honestly waiting for a background on these 27 children that he's eaten, honestly, because I want to know what the fuck these kids did to make him eat their asses. That's all I got to say. Is it trauma? Is it hatred? Which one is it? I'm so excited to find out.
I don't want to say nothing bad to mess up your enthusiasm, so I'm gonna just let you watch it first.
We're all on our own. Listen, I already know you weren't feeling it because of certain people. We ain't gonna say no names, okay? Because we don't want to ruin any opportunities.
Don't worry about this. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of James Gunn's humor.
We're all about the money. Anyway.
The way I see it is like this: the series is fine, right? It's I can't say anything about it technically being bad, anything like that. It's just
Okay.
personally, I'm just never been a fan of James Gunn's humor. That's really what it's been, honestly, right? And it's completely
You're
written by
wrong.
James. I'm not a fan of it. Like I remember, I don't know what happened recently. I was watching something. I think I was in my hotel room and the TV was just playing, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special came on, and it opens off with that. You remember how it opened with that musical? There's some dude playing guitar. He's like, yeah, and then his hands do this, and I'm like, this is supposed to be funny. This is the joke. This is the punchline right here. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. And like that's what Chris Pratt said. Like, oh man, like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie ended with a dance off or a sing off or something weird like that. And it's like,
Yes,
this is a very specific kind of humor, right?
Mhm.
I get it. You see what kind of humor I like? Ratchet humor, right? Like I like
Yes.
crackheads riding on the side of the car, screaming for their lives. Like I like ratchet humor. Like this isn't for me. So like I can't say anything bad about it. Like I tried to honestly be honest with you. I probably walked into the show trying not to like it, but then
Okay.
I walked away with like, you know what?
Mm.
I can't really criticize anything that I saw here and technically, thematically, even the comedy. It's just not my taste of comedy.
Okay.
There is one thing, and this is borderline of a spoiler event, so you might want to cover your ears.
It's not that serious. I'm good.
I'm not a fan at all at DC's insistence in inserting, no pun intended, sex with their characters and their worlds. Like when it comes to comic book characters like Marvel and stuff, you know, like Marvel, they'll allude to sex, right? Like sometimes you'll see scenes of somebody in bed after sex. But DC will have a full-on make-out session and other characters listening as sex is happening. And I don't really like that with my comic book characters. I don't want to see Batman fucking Batgirl. I don't want to see that. But they do it. They do it. They're like, no, man, whatever. We want more of that. I'm also a little same theme that we was just talking about with Aaron Taylor Johnson and his wife, Rick Flag Sr. is sitting here flirting with this younger woman.
No. She took it. Let's be serious. She took it.
What happened the first time he left? What happened the second time? All right.
I mean,
so
she kind of trapped him. She trapped him, dog. Don't play.
Either way, they wrote it like that, right? They wrote it. They could have wrote it any way they wanted. That's what they were like. You know what? This is what I want to see. This is what I and when I see writers do that, to me, it feels like they're projecting themselves.
I can see where you would. I can see that bothering you. I can understand that.
Because I ain't gonna talk about James Gunn and his wife. I don't know the history there.
I mean, we're talking about Rita Ora.
Nah.
Rita Ora. What am I talking about? What's her name? You know what? We ain't got to get into it because I know we tend to stay on.
I know we stay on topics for a long time, but
so I would say that I could certainly understand if
Jennifer Holland is her name. He's 58. Yes, he's 58. She's 37.
Wait a minute. Jennifer Holland? No, James. Oh, you know, I'm thinking about Tiki what's his name? Tiki, the dude from
Marvel.
Tiki Watati, whatever.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika. Yeah, I'm thinking of the dude from Thor, not James Gunn. Yeah, my bad.
Nah, this is James Gunn.
This is the lady. Yeah, the chick that's in all of the Suicide Squad. And yeah. And listen, I have no problem with that. I think that there is a difference between 30 and between 40 and between 40 and 19 and 60 and 39. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like just because those numbers have the same age, same distance, I think that the level of maturity once you've reached 30, 40, I think, free market. But I digress.
Listen, people can make their own mistakes. Super hypocritical. People can make their own mistakes. Only thing I was going to say is that they're in different stages of life. And when you're in a different stage of life, it don't matter if you're 30 38 and they're 21, you're mentally somewhere else, right? When you hit your 40s and you look at 30-year-olds, you're still mentally somewhere else. So
well, there's
that's
some
why
40-year-olds that are mentally still in their 20s. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
And so everybody individually is different. Now, all right. About the show, I wanted to step back and say, because I know that you said you didn't like James Gunn's humor. Here's where this is going to probably present itself an issue. Unfortunately, you are in the minority with regard to this, because the Guardians of the Galaxy movie was heralded so widely that it garnered the first one, of course, as a groundbreaker. The second, not as much. The third kind of bounced back a little bit for those. It did. You can't deny that it did. There's nobody. I'm sorry. You can't. You
The
cannot
ending.
say
The ending.
How many times have you watched it?
I watched it at least twice, and there's no way that you could listen. And I'm not saying that the movie is good. What I said was that it bounced back, which means that it was better than part 2. I can't find somebody who can deny that part 3 was better than part 2. That's just I just have yet to find anybody say that.
It's just that the holiday special. So I went from 1, which was I thought was really good.
It was really scarred.
I thought it was really good. The second one, I was like a huge step back. Then they followed up with the holiday special, which I was like, what are we even doing here? And then the third one was like, okay, that was better. I'm okay with when you take characters and you change them from their comic origin. I'm okay with that as long as you give me a good story. I thought it was very egregious to not portray Drax the way he should have been portrayed, as somebody who's like, I want to kill Thanos 24/7. I wake up every day and I need to hunt Thanos. I need to get revenge. The fact that he was more of a comic relief character and his Thanos hate took a backstory to everything else. I was trying to forgive that because they was giving us some decent stories, but that third movie was a problem to me. Everything they did with Adam Warlock, and everything they did with Adam Warlock was pretty bad. The movie did Rocket Raccoon a lot of justice. Everything with Rocket was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was ever going to be this interested in Rocket, but everything else was wild.
Well, if we're going to throw our stake if I'm going to put our flag in the ground and declare and demand comic accuracy, then we don't get almost any of these movies. You know, Thanos was the groundkeeper, the basis of the phase 1 through like 3. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't make him an obsessed dude flying through space trying to please Lady Death, then it's not worth it, right? But now we got a different type of Thanos, one who's obsessed with taking out half of the population. So
and I'm okay
I don't
with
think
that.
we can't always. I think that comic accuracies can sometimes damn us for those of us that read comics. And I'm not trying to say that it's not worth it to keep some of the consistencies, but I can understand where they evade come on, let's keep it real. Drax in the comics is not funny, nor is he entertaining, nor is he
He's just a goon. He's a goon. He's a nonstop goon. I want to kill Thanos. I wake up, kill Thanos. I'm sitting on the toilet taking a shit. When are we going to go looking for Thanos? Right? This dude killed my wife and daughter. Like, why are we not looking for Thanos right now?
I love that. And I think that they try to put an element of it, but I think that the decision to not make Thanos the center theme of the Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the reasons why it garnered success, because it wasn't centered around Thanos. They made Thanos such a huge villain that he carried the Avengers.
I need a tiebreaker. Yes.
Oh no. Come on, yes.
Where do you sit in the Guardians of the Galaxy conversation?
I agree with you. The first one was it was good because it was not needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know that we needed the Guardians, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So the first movie was like, it was nice that it was, you know, out of the blue. But the second movie wasn't that great. The third movie, it did have some good moments with the Rocket You know what I'm saying? The whole revelation of how Rocket became Rocket, basically, and
the high evolutionary.
His life, yeah, you know, his friends, his life, basically how he's Yondu, like crazy as fuck. That was
Other Earth.
Yeah.
Yep, I was about to say. And then we got to also see Groot's full, you know what I'm saying, like full evolution. So that, I mean, that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was a pivotal fucking moment in that movie. So if we had to put them on a scale, okay, I would say 1, 3, then 2, only because, like I said,
of course,
we didn't know we really liked that. You know what I'm saying? Like we were like, who the fuck is these people? Like, who cares? They're guarding the galaxy. But then, like, we fell in love with, you know, just the fucking characters, like Gamora being an asshole to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it worked so well. You know what I mean? Like their personalities, they meshed well. So if I have to, you know, put it in a category, I would definitely say 1, 3, and 2 for sure. And
okay,
but
I suppose. But what about? Wait, we forgot the Christmas special.
The Christmas special, honestly, I don't even remember the Christmas special, and I saw it, so we're gonna put that last.
I remember.
All I remember was like them, yeah. Like I do remember the beginning with the ukulele on top of like the city with the lights and shit. Yeah, like him like trying to play it. Yeah, I do remember that. That was like, what the fuck? But I mean, other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the idea of their characters was great with the original crew. I just really hope they don't continue with more Guardians because it'd have to be somebody that, well, I'm just saying because it'd have to be somebody that we would either one, not know and fall in love with again. You see what I'm saying? Like a whole new group. Or they'd have to be a distinguished group of individuals that we already love that are individuals that need to fucking be together. You see what I'm saying? So
like
it's
the ones we saw at the end of Guardians, like the like literally the last scene.
Yeah, but did you really get excited for that shit though? Like
when I saw Rocket go full Rocket, what? And now they've got oh my god, yo, they released Mantis full on Groot, like who can make weapons and shit. I want to see.
Well, who else is on the team though? That's what I'm saying. Who else is on the damn team?
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, they could end the Guardians of the Galaxy thing right now, and I wouldn't cry about it. And clearly, they have to because the arbiter of it is Gunn, you know. But this whole thing was discussed because of Ant's lack of enthusiasm for James Gunn's. Has a good way of putting it for his projects and for his sense of humor specifically. And what I was trying to say is that this doesn't bode well for the future of DC projects with him being at the helm for the most part of DC, of the DCU. I mean, one thing that, I mean, I think Yaz and I would agree was whether the movies were great or not, I still laughed. And also I thought that the idea, one of the things that I love that James Gunn did in Guardians 3 was he didn't take the easy, let's reconnect Gamora with Quill route, which they could have done, even though it's a different Gamora from a different universe. He had the wisdom to be like, nah, they not supposed, that's too sappy, man. They gonna meet each other. She's still gonna hate him at the end, but she'll respect him a little bit. That's wisdom. And I kind of dig that. I think it's gonna look bad, and it's because Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, these movies are gonna be driving the DCU force. And so if you don't like Creature Commandos, and if you don't like James Gunn's humor, it's going to be a long season of DC movies upcoming where you're going to probably, unfortunately, not be as enthusiastic. I don't know, but who knows? Now that he's the boss, maybe he'll hire somebody else and have a different set of humor for him.
But didn't you say that you fucking thought Penguin was fire as fuck?
But that's
he didn't write it.
That's not
he didn't write it. Regardless of that, he didn't write it.
He directed it though.
No, he
didn't direct it either.
He didn't do nothing with it. Okay. He just showed up at the premiere and was like,
wait, one more time.
He just showed up at the premiere. Like, but what we can say is that the DCEU is going to be live and die by James Gunn, because everything in it for the first 2 years is written solely by James. Not a single other word was written by a single other person. All of Creature Commandos, Superman, and all of Peacemaker is solely written by James Gunn. That's the first 2 years of the DCU. So,
well, yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's not looking good for you, bro. Because I mean, unfortunately,
I would just watch
like I said, you're in the minority.
I'm gonna judge everything by Superman. I'm gonna judge because like if he comes to Superman with the same energy that he came with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm done. I really can't support that.
Did you
I can't even watch another Superman movie, honestly. Like, I'm so fucking done with Superman. Can we move the fuck on? Like, you know what I'm saying? How many movies do we have to fucking have a Superman? Like, he's got.
That's like saying we got too many Batman.
Yeah, I agree. Batman and Superman, the motherfuckers can sit in the back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could, like, Rosa Parks, back of the bus, bitch. Okay?
Well, I mean, hold on. Let's not go to
not, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Not in a racist term, but I'm just saying, like, sit your ass in the back, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Take the back seat, dog. Like, go to sleep for a minute.
I refuse. I'm going to stand up here to the front and tell you that I believe that these folks that are making Superman are not following the Batman model that's being put out there. Like, they don't put Batman everywhere. Like, you'll see Titans, right?
They do.
No, Batman's they don't.
Everything.
Yes, the fuck they do.
In
Batman and Superman are all over.
He's
here's my point. He's in Titans. Is he in Young Justice? Because I thought that was more of a Robin and
he's
a Young
there.
Batman.
He shows up every once in a while.
He's in Young Justice, but they'll have a literal Superman show. Like right now, there's
they do. My Adventures with Superman.
My Adventures with Superman.
My Adventures with Superman, the cartoon, and then they have Superman and Lois, the TV show.
Hold on.
Right. So they don't do that same thing with Batman. Batman's normally like a character lounging in the dark. No, they don't. They'll do like Gotham, and then Batman will be a character in it. But they won't. If it's a Superman show, instead of doing Smallville, they'll make it about Superman.
But that's a Superman adjacent or a Batman adjacent. It's still in Batman's ecosphere, right? Like if he's not directly in it, Robin is in it, Red Hood is in it, the Penguin is in it. You're in Batman's. Like me personally, I know this is probably going to be the least popular thing. I honestly think I would love to see more of Green Lantern and the Flash. Those are way more interesting characters to me personally, because I don't think they've been like the Green Lantern is probably the most underrated property they have in their stable. That and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is like
Girl. I mean, like
they should be.
When the fuck she gonna get her limelight? Hawk Girl, Hawkman, you know what I'm saying? Like they're great characters, they're strong fucking characters, and I mean they're
Black Adam.
Right,
I mean,
but
for the first time, that was his first time appearing in something since like
Titans.
He was in Titans.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl were both in Titans.
No, that's Hawk and Dove.
That's Hawk and Dove. That wasn't Hawk Girl. Yeah.
No.
All I'm saying is Black Adam. The reason why that movie didn't do as great as it should have is because basically he's a fucking knockoff. He's a knockoff Batman. Like, come on, bro. Look at his outfit. He got the cape and everything. He's
Superman.
It's like Batman and Superman had a fucking baby, and that's Black Adam, basically. You see what I'm saying? Like, no wonder why that movie didn't do good. They basically took all the fucking movies they've been making, Superman, Batman, and then just combined into someone that looks kind of like us. You know what I'm saying? Like a minority. They're like, hey, we're gonna use The Rock because he's the most. You know what I'm saying? Like. Character accurate, yes, but he's also a minority, technically speaking. He's not a white guy. You see, and so I don't know. I feel like those movies, DC has been caping so hard for Batman, everything Batman, and I'm sick of Batman. I'm gonna pull a Stephanie. Fuck Batman. Batman can go sit the fuck down. Okay, take your cape and go to sleep in the fucking Bat cave. It's nighttime.
Why about Batman?
I'm gonna get you some comics about Green Lantern written by Jeff Johns. I need you to understand why I feel like Green Lantern is.
Are you speaking about John Stewart specifically, or Hal Jordan?
No. This is Hal Jordan. John Stewart is there. Kyle Rayner is there. This is going to go into some stories called that some comic fans will stand up for. They're going to be like the Sinestro Corps War. It's going to go into Blackest Night. It's going to go into Brightest Day. And these are some of the hands down greatest comics of the 20th century. No. This is like
talking Sojourner Millen? Are we talking?
No. This is a comic where you start to see, we've heard of Green Lantern, right? And then we know Sinestro is a Yellow Lantern, right? Then we got the Red Lantern, got the Blue Lanterns, then we got the Indigo Lanterns. Then we're going to go into across the spectrum of different lantern colors and what they all mean.
Hell yeah.
This is what I need you to read. There's a Green Lantern cartoon that came out a couple years ago. It was loosely based on the Bruce Timm animation style. So it's like loosely based in the same universe as Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. You follow these stories in the cartoon, and they're based off of Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is one of the greatest creators alive right now, period. In comics and TV and movies, this man is cooking. He's the man who created the Flash TV show. He was in charge of the Arrowverse for a while. He created Stargirl. He was president of DC Comics for one. They set him up to be a scapegoat for like 1 minute, and then he got of DC Studios, and then he got fired right after Justice League came out. Like he got hired right before Suicide Squad and got fired after Justice League. He never got to actually produce a movie. He only got to take the blame for other things that were already in production. But this man is cooking. I'm gonna get you these comics. I want you to read them. Put them in the shitter. Whenever you're sitting down there, you got 10 minutes. Read them.
We got to compete with my laptop, boy.
Oh, you want them digital? Say less.
No, just playing. Nah, I like the flip books, the pages. But so it doesn't sound like you have a lot of enthusiasm for the upcoming Lantern Corps project, then.
So I'm curious because I want to see. I often find that I do gravitate towards the comics that are somewhat loosely resemble the comics. They don't have to be direct, right? Thanos loosely resembled the comics. He was still like snapping half the universe. I like that part. Civil War, you still had superheroes fighting each other, even though it wasn't like the comic. They got the broad strokes, right? I want to see stories that are loosely based off of that, because that's when those creators who want to do something original get to shine the most. They take something, they remix it, they make it their own. Christopher Nolan was great at that. He was like, oh, Batman Year One, Batman Begins. Oh, Killing Joke, The Dark Knight.
Yo, that was
Bane, Nightfall. You know, and he cooked for 3 movies. So I like when they take something that's remixed or an adaptation versus something that's wholly original. And like Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one being the exception, because that was wholly original and it was cool. But I'm gonna get y'all Green Lantern. I should probably anything written by Jeff Johns. I should get you. Just make sure you got time, because it's gonna take time to read all these books, but it's gonna be fucking worth it.
Okay. It sounds like a graphic novel. So for the Green Lantern Corps project, you approve of Aaron Pierre representing John Stewart? Oh, we already talked about this.
Yeah, we already talked about this. Like, I'm cool with it. Like, he's a great actor. He's going to do a great job. At this point, the mood is already passed. I just got to see what comes out of it. My favorite thing is that they are doing one thing really different than Marvel. Comic book writers in the room. Tom King is another one of the best writers out right now. He's not on Jeff Johns' level yet, because he still just doesn't have the same body of work. But Tom King is doing his thing. Yes.
She said.
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking like a motherfucker right now, and I gotta go before I get caught. So I got
no problem. Thank you so much, Yaz. I appreciate the recap. Thank you for tie breaking against Guardians of the Galaxy. This is why I love it.
Did she really tie break? I agree with me. So
I mean, I agreed and added. So let's just you know what I'm saying?
Because nobody remembers the Christmas special. But thank you so much. Yaz.
It was so bad. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Bye, guys.
All right, yeah. Take care. Don't work too hard, yo. See you Saturday.
Hey, always. I'll see you guys later. I'll catch you on Saturday. And fans, yo, watch fucking Creature Commando so we can talk about this shit. Okay?
Yes.
All right, Yazzie. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Yo, hard transition. Have you actually seen Dune? This upcoming this recent
No. I'm not caught up on Dune, and I'm not caught up on Silo. I caught up on a couple movies. I've been doing movies a lot because I have to vote for award season. So I did see Tyler Perry's new movie, the 688, and
oh really? Oh yeah. What is this? Is this a new concept, or is it the usual, formula?
Brand completely different? He went off the beaten path. He decided to do a historical film based off of the only
Okay, so this is
all-black
the one with the
woman.
women. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And, you know, again, it's one of those projects where I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk into this not wanting to like it. And I shut up. I shut up. It's not going to be for everyone. Mainly because I don't want to say anything too wild, but there's a lot of people who don't want to see black stories like this told. Period. It's just they just
And that's
don't
not
want
all
it.
white people either. There's black people that are complaining. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also Kerry Washington. Like, I'm not the biggest Kerry Washington fan. I like her at times, but then there are times where I'm just her, Gabrielle Union, and a few other women like that. I just don't always get excited to see. Kerry, I learned to like in this movie. At first, I was like, and then by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, okay, you did something there.
Can I ask you what it is that turns you off about Kerry Washington?
It's how they perform their range, right? I can't say they don't have range. It's how they perform their range.
Okay, so you're speaking just about her. It's not there's nothing about like her personal life or her views.
No, I don't know anything about her personal life or her views.
Oh, okay, okay, I did. All right. I thought, okay, sometimes because like my wife, she'd be like, I ain't like this. She tweeted that, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be like,
yeah, and they'd be like, I hated the movie because what she tweeted. My wife be doing
yeah. Okay, all right, my bad. All right.
No. This ain't one of those. This is just strictly like, you know, I saw her in Django and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I thought she did all right in Django. Yeah.
I mean, she didn't have much to do.
Range.
So cool.
Yeah, but they dirtied her up. They dirtied her up real bad. And they tried to give her the Seeley treatment, but you know.
Yeah, but like if you go back to all her stuff like Scandal, okay, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
Little Man, all right.
Did you see
Django?
What's it called? There's something like where good thing. There's a movie on Netflix called like Good Things, Bad, Good and Bad. Like it's about like good and bad witches or something weird. I forget the name.
I ain't see it. I didn't see it. I'm just now coming back coming up for air after From, and I'm seeing all the stuff that I missed. I started to binge Silo.
Okay.
Which is good.
Oh, She Hate Me was great, Mike. And she was great in that. And you know, she was also in Chris Rock had a movie called I Think I Love My Wife.
Yes.
And I think that's a really good movie for anybody who's engaged. Especially engaged to a black woman. It is a very relatable movie that actually, in my opinion, just as a brief quip, as a stand-up comedian, shows that Chris Rock was able to take one of his jokes and make it into a movie.
Yes.
He did talk about in his set how, you get at some point in time, you have to choose between do I want a good wife or new, P exclamation point. And so this was him kind of thinking all the way through that, kind of his Bill Cosby version of fatherhood. Fatherhood, that book, which I had to read as a child, was basically turned into The Cosby Show. Literally, The Cosby Show was just fatherhood in a sitcom. But yeah, I Think I Love My Wife was definitely, Kerry Washington plays, dare I say, I'm not spoiling this for anybody. I mean, you're gonna watch it. She plays a friend of the main character who Chris Rock plays, who's a married man, but he starts to believe his wife is getting life is starting to get a little boring. And here comes this interesting little character into his office who's just playing the role of like a fox, on a boring day for a guy who has nothing to do. And she just inadvertently interrupts his life. And he just has to struggle with, damn, do I really love my wife? Because why am I finding this so exciting? Why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? And it's just that's the premise of the story. And it's a really fascinating one. It's where I first heard the term, and excuse the terms for those who may get offended, but nigger ears. That's what she put it. Do you remember that she put it as, she's like, what are you listening to? She was listening to like some classical music or something different. She's like, oh, you only got nigga. And then she's like, yo, you can't listen to just rap and just jazz and just, you know what I'm saying? Like R&B, like, and so interesting.
Here's my thing.
Turn.
These movies, are 20 years old. Right? These movies are older than my kids. So
Same.
I hear you.
Yeah. We need more.
Yeah, I mean, I need that consistency. And if we are citing stuff from 20 years ago, that says something.
Yeah. Well, I also think that the cinematic element is changed in terms of streaming and stuff. So who knows? But
I mean,
you're right.
she's done projects. She's done projects. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent. This ain't we ain't hating on her. Anyway, I liked her in this movie, the 688. I really thought it was a solid movie. If it's on Netflix now, if you have time, it's not too long. It's not a historically. This isn't like a Christopher Nolan war piece, right? This isn't one of those. You're not going to sit here and see a drama in the vein of accurate historical representation. There's going to be some Tyler Perry isms in there. You're going to see his directorial style in there, but it is a solid movie. I'm not saying here you're going to see people preaching. You're not going to get overly gospel. It's not that. It's like little things. Like, you know how like when you see a Spike Lee movie, you know it's a Spike Lee movie, or you see a Ridley Scott movie, you know it's a Ridley Scott movie. You're going to see, there's going to be his little signature stuff is going to come up. But there were a couple moments where I was sitting there and I was like, damn, how do you get that camera angle? Like directorial things. You could see him like, oh, he's doing something new. So,
okay.
I enjoyed it. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be sitting there and like, I'm not even going to give it a shot, or they're going to judge it harshly, or they're just going to straight up not like it. I enjoyed it. It went on my ballot in a couple categories. I'm cool with that movie, really. So I've been catching up on films. I saw The Watchers. The Watchers was solid.
Really? That's the one from the people from, right?
No, it's a very similar movie to From. But The Watchers is from Ishana Night Shyamalan, which is M. Night's daughter. And this was her directorial debut. And she went and she assembled her a really cool cast. She made a really cool movie. People who watch From see the similarities in it because of where you have creatures that come out at night and you got to get inside before you die. And things like that. So I don't want to spoil it because similar to her father, she made a story that is shrouded in mystery, and the reveal of what happens is where you get a lot of the enjoyment. There's a lot of cool symbolism. A lot of the theories people had about From, you'll have about this movie. And it's not too long of a movie. It's like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. You know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It does what it's supposed to do. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a solid movie. I'm a really big Dakota Fanning fan ever since, you know, the movie she did with Denzel.
Man on Fire.
Yeah. That little girl can act.
Crazy.
Yes. Yes. And then she popped up in the Equalizer 3. I was like, yes, reunite them.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah. Man. Yeah.
So I like Dakota Fanning. I like her performance in this movie. I like, be prepared for M. Night stuff. You could tell that this is her father's daughter. Right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm
excited.
Do it
as well as him?
Yeah.
Maybe better?
I can't say better. I can't say better, mainly because M. Night will get bigger stars, which will elevate the performances a little bit more. Dakota Fanning is a great actor in her own right. But you know, I think this lady here, Owen Fuere, I'm sorry, I'm butchering her name. She did really good in it. But it's not the same as like when you're with Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix in Signs. It's not the same as, you know, like Mark Wahlberg. Like it's a different level of stars, and then the other. And when you have that level of star in the film, everybody else raises the bar, right? Like they try their best to keep up with them. So
100%.
that's the only thing I could really say that holds it back a bit. But other than that, I think this woman's got a really good career ahead of her. Like I'm excited to see her next project.
Let's not forget that, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, comments, but I think that Sixth Sense was his first breakout movie. And if that's indeed the case, then that big star, the little boy, wasn't as well known until after that
Haley Joel,
performance.
yeah.
But Bruce Willis was the star of that movie, so that was kind of the catalyst in terms of him acquiring stars like Infinity Stones along the way. Dare I say, that could be what happens with the daughter. Now she's got Dakota Fanning in this first one, maybe not that many others. But if this shows that it's successful, or at least generates some buzz, hopefully as she continues to make productions, it won't be as difficult for her to acquire those. And I mean, you better not be too good to hit up Daddy. All right, you better add Daddy. Can you call?
Hold on. So here's the thing. I didn't realize about the Shyamalan. Sixth Sense was one. Sixth Sense was his third film. I had no idea. Two.
Okay.
He self-finances his movies. He doesn't take any money from the studios. He puts all the money up front out of pocket. That is huge. You don't see nobody except for maybe Francis Ford Coppola doing that. You don't. Steven Spielberg don't do it. Martin Scorsese don't do it. Like, these are people who are home run directors. They are not putting money out of their own pocket for their films. Shyamalan every single time.
I wonder what that's all about.
He doesn't have, when you put up your own money, first off, you have full creative control. You don't have to answer to nobody, right? So you write it, you produce it, you direct it. All they got to do is distribute it, help you promote it, and then rake in the benefits.
Are you saying that The Last Airbender came all out of his pocket?
He bought the rights to it. He's a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. He's a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. And him being of Asian descent, born in India, he's like, this is up my alley.
Yeah, you can see how he took the liberties with that in the movie and made the firebenders all Indian, and even though there was an Asian, whatever. Anyway, I mean, Asia and India is the same, but I mean, clearly, I mean, look, I'm not trying to split hairs here, but
that movie didn't do well.
I'll leave it there.
But Dev Patel was cooking in it.
But that was what I was about to say. Like, Zuko and Dev Patel are nothing alike in from the animated series to the. I mean, this dude was like I don't know. You could just tell, like I said, like he took the liberties with the characters because these dudes were like a samurai army and he but he did what hey, look, I'm one of the few people that didn't hate the movie as much as everybody else. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think that it deserved to be dragged through the mud that it was. I still like the soundtrack and still think that final scene, even though yes, I want to see the Avatar state, he was building to it. It was called The Last Airbender Book 1. He had just only acquired the book. He only learned how to waterbend. He hadn't even gotten into airbending, or I mean, excuse me, not airbending, but earth bending and to fire bending. So I think they really didn't give that man a chance. And
yes, they did.
Oh man, I would have loved to have seen his. I know I'm the only one that will ever go down in history defending this movie, and I know that's bad. I know it. I won't defend the Dragon Ball Evolution, but this one I don't think was as bad as everybody else.
The TV show is doing a much better job, not just with the actual presentation, but with the casting. Right? They're like,
100%.
I'm gonna get Asian people to play this.
100%, like Asians, not Indian.
Right? Like everybody here is of Asian descent in this show.
Yeah, the way it was in the animated. That's what I was trying to allude to. Was like, Dev Patel. No disrespect, I love you, Monkey Man. That's a big deal. Slumdog Millionaire.
I don't mind India because India is at least in the right continent. Right? That's like saying I hired Canadians to play Americans, or I hired, right? Like you're on the right body of land. I'll take it.
Yeah. I get you.
But this who played Aang? Who played Aang?
it was a little I think it was a little I don't know, young boy. I thought he looked the part. It wasn't completely out of the turn, you know.
I'm about to
It was
tell you
mainly
right.
Dev Patel and the way that
Here
they
you
were
go.
depicting the
His name
firebenders, and
is
they were just
Noah
making well, Noah what? No, Ringer.
Ringer.
Okay, well, listen. Look, the dude knew martial arts. I'm not going to blame the little kid. You know, the little
He's
kid
American.
he held it down. All right, well, born in Dallas, Texas.
From Dallas, Texas.
Take that, get that off the street. Oh my God. Yo, my dog is from the Lone Star State. Oh man. I did not know that. I did not need that reveal just now. I can't even do it. I can't even defend it no more.
All right.
Yeah, come on.
We're done here.
Well, where is what's M. Night's background? I mean, I know he's of Indian descent.
Let's just first off, Noah no longer acts. He gave the career up.
Y'all done bullied that man out of a whole business, man. That is a shame.
This ain't our fault. This is not our fault.
Oh man, that poor. Okay, so he
was born in Mahe, India.
Okay, and then
that's where he was born. Story?
He went to what, Michigan State or something, or what? He came over here and went.
He lived in India. His father is a neurologist. His mother is another doctor. They immigrated to the U.S. when he was 6 weeks old. He was raised Hindu in Pennsylvania. He attended a private Roman Catholic grammar school.
Okay.
He felt like an outsider. Remembers the teachers would say that whoever was not baptized would go to hell.
Oh yeah, y'all set him up for that.
Yeah, they put him in that school. He went to NYU. Yeah. NYU. Okay. Alumni.
In 1968. How old is this motherfucker? I didn't know he was that old. Shit.
Yeah, he's 54. He's not that old, but he's not that young, right? He's not like Ridley Scott is in his 80s and he's still cooking.
But this dude was in college in 1968. The math ain't mathing.
No, it said he was in college in the 80s.
Oh, does it say merit scholarship at 1968, right? Does that say 68 or 88?
No, 88. 88.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my old ass.
Yeah, he graduated in 92. He's doing fine, right? Okay, so he had the experience, the immigrant experience. He came over, tried to be raised in Islam. They was trying to push one of the different Judo-Christianity religions on him. He didn't like that. Whatever. But he's got a well balanced exposure to go into the world of film, right?
Well, I mean, let's not act like he remembers that first 6 weeks, you know. But I'm sure they ventured back home and he stayed in touch, so he does have that, you know, the experience.
Yeah, and he's got the family. I'm sure he's got exposure to the culture. So, you know, one of the main 100%. Things I hear from people is like when they're I actually had an interview with this dude, Arki Kandola. He's raised I think he was born in India, but no, his parents were India. He was born in Canada, but he raised in an Islamic house. And it's when you go back to India that they have this epiphany, right? They have that big life experience. Yo, was good, my bro right there. Hey, Debbie, listen, some of y'all, you know what? I probably shouldn't be doing this. This is probably like one of them weird WCW moments when you say that Mankind's winning the championship. But I do love these other creators out here. Sci-Fi Vision right now is going live and they're interviewing John Griffin, Jack Bender, and Jeff Pinkner, the holy trifecta of From. I know that I'm going to cover it in a little bit later. I know they get to talk to the creators. I know, right? Like, why would I say that? Listen,
bro, it's gonna be all right, bro.
I know. It's all good. It's all good,
man. We all right. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You know what? I love them though. So, and I've always said this since the beginning. I'm not one of those creators that is so insecure that I don't want to help other creators out there. That's cool. Sci-Fi Vision, they're a cool channel. They got like 1,300 subscribers. I want them to get all the success they deserve. They have an opportunity where their hard work is paying off and they're actually able to get all of the creators on there for a live stream. I asked for a live stream. Maybe one day I'll get it. We'll see if they return my emails or not. But if not, I'm going to support everybody because a rising tide raises all ships. And as long as people are growing over there, it's going to help me grow over here. So yes, Debbie, go ahead. I know you're not subscribed to them. Check them out. Come back here. I do also have some things where E-Man interviewed the creators a little bit earlier. Now, and this isn't a knock to Sci-Fi Vision because I can't actually hear what they're saying right now. But E-Man is an very, very, very experienced interviewer, and he was able to speak with them about a few things, and I was able to just pick out a few things that they touched on that I wanted to bring up in this live stream. So he also got to speak with them. He got to speak with them for a solid hour, John Griffin and Jeff Pinkner. He didn't get to speak with Jack, but that's okay. But there's a couple things I did want to touch on that he was able to discuss with them on this show. So one of the main things that I enjoyed that he asked them about was about the huge hiatus between seasons 3 and seasons 4, right? So he was able to ask them, when is the show really coming back? Because we heard, season 4 is coming back in 2026. And they said, yeah, it is. One of the main reasons is that they like to film typically in the fall rather than the winter, because in the winter it's just too cold. They film in Nova Scotia, Canada. It's ridiculously cold out there. They want to film in the fall, so they're going to expect to start filming early fall 2025 with a release in early 2026. So I'm expecting honestly, if I'm a betting man, is coming back in March 2026. Right?
For the last season?
Now, this is something else that they discussed. So I'm going to jump through a few moments in this this video that I'm not going to play the whole video. I want you all to definitely go watch E-Man's video, watch Sci-Fi Vision's video. I know there's enough of y'all to go around for all of us. Come back later when you're done watching that live stream. But with E-Man's video, he asked them a couple of good things. So one thing he asked them was about whether or not they would do potential spinoffs. So something that he and I have been talking about, and I don't think I don't think they understood the context of his question, or maybe he didn't present it the way that he and I discussed it. But he asked them about whether or not there's any potential for spinoffs. And they did give some really cool hints about whether or not they would be interested in doing spinoffs. They said that they know about the history of the prehistory of some of the characters. Like before they came to Fronttown, they have that all mapped out. They know a lot of the prehistory of the town. I was like, all right, that's cool. That makes me feel good. But then they said something that I didn't expect them to say. They said they know some of the things that will happen to the town and the characters after From ends. And I was like, what the fuck you mean what happens to the town after? The town is still going to be around? Is it still going to be a thing? So when the show ends, they have plans for the town after. And that blew my mind. Matter of fact, let me play it real quick.
Yeah, let me see, because let me break that down.
We know some of the prehistory of the characters. We know a lot of the prehistory of the town, and we know some of the things that will happen to the town and the characters after From ends. Whether those things ever are born into other television shows or graphic novels or fan fiction or journal entries for John and I, we'll see.
Okay. And one of the things too that was like kind of baked into the design of the show was the idea of creating this ever expanding canvas, like creating a show that has a mythology and a, kind of in a way creating a modern day fable, or at least striving to create a type of modern day fable. And with that type of tapestry, there's a lot of threads to explore. You know, as Jeff said, like, you know, maybe there's a graphic novel someday. Maybe there's a, you know, like maybe, you know, we're learning now that there were other settlements that lived in this place before. So what excites us, you know, in exploring the story is sort of the, you know, the little corners that we get to peek around. And like some we know they're there and we're leading the audience forwards. And then every once in a while there's a corner like, oh shit, I didn't expect that corner to be there. Let's peek around that and see what's there. So yeah, going back to Jeff's original answer, the answer is maybe.
Okay.
So I loved all of that. First off, this man right here, John, has probably the meanest poker face I ever seen in my fucking life. Did you see the way he was sitting there all pensive as Jeff was talking? And he was barely even blinking. Like, this is the dude they say the cast be giving their theories to, and he just be staring at them like with this face.
Or born into other television shows or graphic
novels.
Or
like, I want to see him on a poker show for real, just like messing with people.
Yeah, he was definitely focused. Let me grab my drink.
So I love that he touched on the fact that they have a plan for what's going to happen from after.
He didn't say that.
He said, I know what's going to happen to the town after From ends. And he said whether or not that story is told in a graphic novel or a spinoff is yet to be told. So that really excites me.
Yeah, very different statement in my opinion. Like, to say they have plans is one thing. It sounded like more like what he said was, I know what happens and they have no plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because no, you're not tripping there, because one thing a lot of TV shows and showrunners hate to do is tell or announce whether or not they have more stuff that's confirmed or in the works until the ink is right. So like the whole concept about whether or not season 4 would come back, I said something from the beginning. There's a high degree of likelihood this show is coming back since the beginning of season 3. I don't think now they've confirmed it. I think that is pretty safe bet that we'll get at least 5 seasons, whether they announce it here or not. I don't think that there's any likelihood that they'll have a dip in ratings for season 4, no matter how many times people say it. I think that's capped. I think everybody will be back. They might not remember everything right away. They might have to, clear off the cobwebs, but they'll come back.
Do you think it stays at the same pace or that it picks up?
I think I hope they reinvent the show. I think that they kind of wrote themselves into a situation where they have to reinvent the show slightly, mainly because as of right now, we have a future Julie walking around in the present. So we don't know how long she's going to stay there neither. She might stick around for a little bit.
I mean, if you really think about it, if you want to be real technical, Julie's not the first time traveler, you know what I'm saying, to be unveiled. It really was technically Miranda, because Miranda has been in multiple timelines, and we learned that she was in multiple timelines before we saw that Julie popped up in this one from another one. So there's multiple things afoot right here. And if you want to go real deep into it, it's not even Miranda, it's the kids. The kids are the original time travelers. I mean, if you're looking at like who in the beginning of the show, now in terms of the actuality of it, her being somebody who embodies somebody else who actually has been through multiple timelines, that's a different story. But the kids, these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've been there since some of them, the Civil War, it sounds like. What?
Yeah, the Nkui kids.
Yeah, man. So there's a whole thing going on there, but I'm not gonna lie to you when I say that hearing all that is intriguing, but I still am picking my brain at trying to figure out what that looks like, a spinoff from because if you think about it, the the biggest, most prominent character in From is the actual town. The town itself is Gotham-esque, right? Like, it's the most significant character in this plot line. So when you start talking about spinoffs, are we talking spinoffs without the town? Are we talking spinoffs
No.
based on the characters? Are we talking spinoffs that are like origin stories for how they ended up in? I mean, what are we even talking about? You know what I'm saying?
So this is the thing where I wish the question was asked a little bit differently, because he started off by asking them, hey, would you do a Victor spinoff? And I don't think they took it in the context of the way that he and I had spoken about it prior. What if they did a young Victor spinoff, right? Like, what happened to him for those 30 years that he was in from before the Matthews showed up, right? Like, were there other people that came? What happened to him that night in the cave? What happened to him until he reached that? Or maybe the settlement. Maybe we see other people even before Victor, maybe at different time periods, kind of like House of the Dragon. Go back 50 years, go back 100 years, see Civil War soldiers there. How far back can you go? How low can you go? And that's the kind of stuff that really interests me about where they can definitely take from with spinoffs. I don't know if they explored that.
So would that interest you? What part of that is the most fascinating to you? Like, which of those would you like to see?
I would definitely like to see the young Victor, but I would also like to see maybe like older, like maybe like almost like, I don't want, maybe like Civil War soldiers, Black Civil War soldiers, white Civil War soldiers, Asian Civil War soldiers with muskets trying to figure out what the hell Smiley is and why this mofo can't die. How many other women have gotten pregnant and given birth to monsters over the years? Like, I want to see all of that.
And I wonder
to the Matthews.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they could also toy with like the time and utilizing the gaps in time to exploit even scarier things, right? Like I wonder if, like, since it's way back then, you know, if like ghosts and like, you know, different types of animals and, you know, different types of beasts, you know, maybe they could use weapon, you know, like I wonder, like, how bad does it get, you know, and if each different edition of from whatever the spinoff may be yields or rears a different, you know, different types of danger, you know what I'm saying? Different types of enemies, different types of ghosts. Maybe they don't have a Smiley, maybe they got something worse, maybe Smiley came later, you know what I mean?
So I agree. So that's definitely the kind of stuff that I would like to see explored.
Okay.
And going all those different directions. There were a couple other things that they touched on in this, and then after this, I wanted to touch on two more things in this, and then I'm gonna do my giveaway winners, and then I think those are all the topics I had at least prepared. He also asked him about the concept of an after show. So when we say like an after show, you know, like how Walking Dead has the Talking Dead. Like when we're done with From, I'm not done. I'm not ready to let go of the moment usually. Like I'm still like, oh my God, this dude is in the wall. Like
right, exactly. Yeah.
So he asked them about the idea of an after show, and honestly, their answer surprised me. I'm gonna play that real quick.
Asked an after show, some reunions, because I mean, there's so many feelings invested watching this. Like, I keep seeing this in my comments. People want more. They just want something. Is that a possibility?
It may be coming out of that comment.
Right there. That right there floored me. He said it might be coming right out of that comment. Jeff Pinkman is one of the producers. That means he just he never thought of it. He honestly it just never crossed his mind. He was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I could have The Walking Dead on my hands." Why? What? The fact that and look at his face, look at E-Man's face. He's like, "Oh shit, hire me."
like, I know that's right.
You know, and I support it. Like, hire this man, but it just never crossed their minds.
And being fully transparent and candid here, there's complications to making a show like this, which is the mythology is not the answers, are not the reasons that John, Jack, and I, and all the incredibly talented artists who pour their passion into making this show alongside us. we're mostly interested in the character journeys, and
he had this man stumbling. He didn't know what to say, right? Like you know what that when that happens, right? You ask them the question, they malfunction a little bit. They're trying to figure out how to put words together in a sentence. I love that. He's literally, you can see the wheels spinning in his head as he's talking. He's like, all right, how do I fall back into something I said before while I'm thinking, oh yeah, this show is about the characters. Like, I loved everything about that. So one, we might have just birthed a From After show, y'all. Big round of applause to E-Man for that, because these dudes was not thinking about it at all.
Where does that can we see the conclusion of that question?
Yeah.
And the human stories. And
right, let me.
The mythology is not the answers, are not the reasons that John, Jack, and I, and all the incredibly talented artists who pour their passion into making the show alongside us. We're mostly interested in the character journeys and the human stories. And when it comes to things like after shows or podcasts, our actors, and they all speak to this, they're as in the dark as the audience is about all of the things I mentioned, the mythology, what happens next to all of the characters. And that's by design, because we want them to discover it in real time.
If you're a New York homeowner, then you could qualify
to
get $19,400 to stop.
He timed that perfectly.
Yes, well done. I was just
performing the future or what's going to happen. The actors know everything that their characters know. So if there's relevant backstory, they know. So when it comes to things like podcasts, a little bit of our fear is that people will be disappointed if those things aren't all targeted towards answers.
Mm-hmm. Although that said, you know, like something
real quick. He didn't answer the question after that. If you didn't notice that, he said it might be birthed out of this question, and then he went off to talking about how the artists and people are kept in the dark. It's kind of like what politicians do in debates. They just slowly switch the subject and just never come back to it. John peeped it. John peeped it and hopped in, and this is where he really answers it.
Something akin to like our version of like The Talking Dead, you know, where it's like you watch the episode and then there's a breakdown afterwards, and there are guests from the show, because as Jeff said, it's like we, you know, in season 1, we pulled Harold aside and said, hey, look, you shot your wife, you know, because that was something that the character was living with. And it was very much at the heart of, you know, his divide with Ellis. And I think that what's nice about the whole communal experience and the Frumily and the way everybody comes together, whether it's, you know, the live tweeting, and yes, Elon, it's still live tweeting, that we do every week, or you know, just the camaraderie amongst the fan base, and the cast and the engagement. I think it would be lovely, you know, and like Jeff said, maybe something comes out of the request being made, you know, like right here in this interview. You know, like just something about I know that I love getting to spend time with the cast on set, and when we're in Halifax and when we do screenings and stuff like that. And so like giving the audience and the fans a little bit more of that, even if it's just like, hey, what a crazy episode we just saw. What'd you guys think? You know, that's another sort of like, we'll see. That's kind of above our pay grade. But, you know, Frumily, if you make enough noise, you never know what'll happen.
Oh man, I could swear.
What's his response? What's his response?
I could swear Jeff was right here live emailing, like, why the fuck don't we have a Talking Dead TV show? We're waiting for, if I could see what was in the reflection of his glasses.
Yo,
I mean, I'm going straight to MGM. I'm gonna knock on that door. Like, listen, this is what the people want. So I got you. Actually,
all right.
Yeah.
So it writes itself. It sells itself. It costs basically nothing. You know what I'm saying? To sit the same actors down, make it a part of the contract that at least out of the 8 episodes, you have to do 3 episodes of such and such, right?
Yeah. Just show up after the episode and talk about it.
They're already doing it on YouTube all over the place. I'm sure they'd rather do it in good lighting with a good backdrop, with somebody professional, with a mug where you can actually edit things out if you say something stupid instead of it being live. Yeah, it sells itself, and literally they don't even have to do it until the show airs. Like, you don't have to do it like while you're filming. We were talking months later after it airs, and you could do them all in a week because whoever's going to conduct the interviews has already seen the whole season. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I see the comments. Quan E-Man came correct, and he deserves credit. So here's what I want to say also. If and by chance these motherfuckers do end up doing that show and not including E-Man, we got to make some real noise.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could already see them doing something like that. Like, yeah, why don't we do that? And then not even crediting the person that gave them the idea. Like, at bare minimum, he deserves a credit.
I mean, these things happen all the time. They take people's ideas, and that's up for free debate. And you know what? Honestly, I think E-Man, I can't speak for him, but I honestly think if it just happened, that would be satisfaction in and of itself, because that was also another opportunity for him and I to make more content. But
Fair enough. Right, long as he don't get drugged, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. But yeah.
But they should hire him. They should. Like, you ever see Insecure with Issa Rae?
Of course. Yeah.
And you know how like afterwards they would have the wind down, and they would just have Issa sit down with one of the cast members and just talk and drink wine and talk about the preceding episode. That's all they really need to do. It doesn't need to be more theory. Just talk about what happened in that episode.
Literally. It's at that point, it's fan service.
Yeah. Let me see what else these I want to see what these comments are saying real quick. Well, now 11-letter words. Yeah, they do have some big words they be throwing at them.
I like big words.
The town is a story, so from travels.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
my bad.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that Quan, that is a fascinating idea worth exploring in itself, because what we know of From is not necessarily the extent of what exists in From. We're only in one part of the town, right? We've only seen certain elements of it. There's still so much in the past and the future, and if I don't, the present as well, we still don't know what the hell's going on. So I could only imagine, like, if you go way back, can you imagine if it's not just a family or some folks that are underground that are hunting you, but like a whole entire Confederate army of From monsters? You know what I'm saying? One of which is a giant, because back in the day they found these fossils of these huge giants, and maybe, who knows, maybe there's a dinosaur or two, or some freaking saber-toothed tiger or some scary shit. You never know. Witches may be scarier the older they are, because they're closer to when they were created, and who knows? Like, there's a darker element of From that exists that we may not even have scratched the surface to, that I'm thinking, now that we talk about it, sounds like it could be worth exploring. At first I was like, nah, how you gonna make a sequel of From? But now that I'm thinking about it, it makes sense. It makes some sense.
We got to make noise. We got to let MGM know that they need to put the money to it. I don't know how many people is watching that show, the Earth After Earth Abides. I don't know how many. I didn't watch it. I didn't. But this is one of those opportunities where they could treat it like they treat The Walking Dead and just make a universe of shows that carry the channel for years, right? AMC is eating off of The Walking Dead and have been for almost 20 years now, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping.
Well, I mean, it's the content is spread out now. Now you choose your flavor of Walking Dead, like Yvette Nicole Brown would say when she comes on. Like, they all have different. Like, you got your original recipe, then you got your your new different broccoli. So I'm still akin to the original, even though it started to fizzle out after Rick and Carl and so on, and Michonne. I'm not caught up on these new ones, but I would definitely explore them, because one thing I know about Walking Dead is it's completely bingeable. It doesn't matter which version of it. No matter what version, when I tune into The Walking Dead, once it gets to the end of the episode, and then it's like the next one starts coming up, and that's countdown for 10 seconds for if it's already all the way out. Oh, I'm gonna let it go to the next one, because they're gonna leave me right there wanting more. And that's what Walking Dead does good, and that's good writing. Hallelujah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not really watching the other ones either, but I know they exist. One of them I've been saying I will watch for a while, which is the one when they bring back Rick and Michonne. Like,
yes, same.
I want those are my two favorite characters in the show.
Same.
Period.
Same.
Right.
Same.
So I'm definitely going to eventually check them out. Thankfully, it's a short series. I think it's only like 6, maybe 8 episodes. So I'm a probably try to bang it out over the winter break.
Can I show you something real quick?
Playing Marvel Rivals.
oh, you playing that now? Oh, yo, who you using? Let me show you something real quick while you're on the subject.
I got this new monitor. What you think I'm using it for? Work? No, man. I gotta save the world. Let me see what else these comments are saying. What you got? What's this?
Yo, this is when I took my daughter to MegaCon, which is like the Orlando version of Comic-Con, and we dressed up as Michonne and the zombie. So this is the picture of it. Having trouble. And this is us on this side. I don't know if you can really see it.
I can see it. I see it.
Yeah, so
you over here with no arms.
Yeah, I tied my arms behind my back and I put makeup on it so it looked like my mouth was off. And she had the sword, the katana, and she had a chain around my neck, which was for a black man, took, so I had to kind of like let this part of it go. Be like, look, this is I had to let, and anybody black see me, I'm gonna have to some explaining to do if you see me outside the con. But yeah, man, it was one of our first big cosplays. It was my daughter, my oldest, her first experience with celebrity. We couldn't go 5 steps without being stopped. And oh my God, Michelle, I need a picture. I need a picture. You know how that is when you're at the con. She started getting mad. She's like, enough. Somebody's like, Michelle. She's like, what? She started getting mad. She started getting mad. Man. But anyway, yeah, and this is the same katana. So yeah, Michonne is a big deal in this household. So yeah, I'm mad that I haven't caught up on it. But yeah, man, we love her, even in as Okoye.
Yeah, that is a fire picture. That is a fire. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing some good dad shit right there. That is fire. I love that.
We do the cosplay thing hard. Yeah, it's a family tradition.
Let me see real quick. E-Man needs credit. He does. I watch all the major, even some of the minor from content creators. E-Man has stood out the most from what I've seen. The movie block, it's a close second. Some from content creators made me switch on them. Thank you, Grover Super. Thank you.
That part. I want to thank you.
E-Man learned everything he knows from me. So
the student has become the teacher.
Yeah, nah. Let me see what else. Because we're hiding the fact that they were using leaks as their theories. Yes, they were. And we warned y'all about that. And that's the downside, because I don't know what it's like to look at it from the other side anymore, because I am a creator. I don't know what it's like to look at it from a fan's perspective anymore, but I can only imagine that you get ravenous for information. So it's like, how do I not click on the next person who says they have an idea of what's happening? So I feel bad for people who was spoiled by that. Mo, thank you for coming through. I like Earth Abides, a very realistic show. I gotta try it. MGM, I have a good relationship with them that if I need to, I could get screeners. But like at this point, I don't know how many episodes have aired. Like people kept asking me what's going to be my next show to start doing deep dives. And like the downside is that when From ended, other shows were already like 2 or 3 episodes in. So it's like, do I start doing stuff mid-season? Do I go back and stay behind? It's like, what do I do? I feel more comfortable when I do stuff when I have time to prepare, so I don't get anxious. My anxiety can go crazy with trying to get stuff done on time. Yeah. So I wanted to cover Silo, but Silo's like on what, episode 5 now? Something like that?
4.
Well, let me see how many episodes they got in the season.
Did you watch the first season?
Yeah, I saw the first season. I have all of season 2. I just only watched the first 2 episodes. So let me see how many episodes there are. Maybe I'll do one on like maybe the last couple episodes, or maybe I'll just do one for the season as a whole. Because I know some people just like to hear the humor.
I think Silo's a good show to follow, honestly. It's not like From in that there's endless. Well, there's that's not there. You of course you can have endless theories, but the show's not centered around the mystique of it. Like you kind of have a good idea of what's going on, and it's more a matter of kind of just speculating over what's going to happen, what did happen. You know, talking about what happened rather than like, oh, I think that so and so is this and so is that. But it's definitely interesting, and it does have that like, oh my god, what the hell element of it. Yeah, so I'm following it. I think it's fairly decent. It's intriguing. It got better this second season for me.
I'll do it then. I'll watch it, and then I'll start covering it on the Mondays.
Hey,
and we'll go from there. Oh, we got like 60 some people in here now. Thank you for coming through, everybody. Monday. I guess the other show, I guess the live stream ended. Everybody came back.
I saw somebody up there was like, "We back." I was like, "We back, yo!" It's like, yeah, all city, big heck. He was like, "We back." Like everybody is like, "Come on over here, y'all." All right, we'll be right back.
Earth Abides was good. Filmed in my hometown. From prequel series would be great. Yes, it would. Where's your hometown, Quan? Where did they film that at?
And thus far, I have literally seen no negative press on Earth Abides. So at this point, it's almost worth the 8 minute test, bro.
I ain't seen no press on Earth Abides, so I'll try it.
I'm just talking about your comments. That's my press.
The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live is really good, just short. Okay.
That's the one with Michonne.
That's what I need. Yeah, that's what I need. Look, Walking Dead's best season was the first season. That was like 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Maybe 8. Yep. It was 6 amazing episodes, though.
Yeah, I mean, it left you with your mouth open. Yeah.
Pause.
It left. Because they left old boy on the roof. Remember they left Merle on the roof?
Yes,
like,
they left Merle on the roof.
Like, damn,
they went to the CDC. The CDC was
overrun.
It was a really good first season. It moved, and that's what I love. Was when the pacing is right. I talk about this all the time. The episode ends, the characters are in a different spot than when the episode started. That's good pacing to me. This is what I need to see. So that's what I love. That I'm okay with that. There was one other thing I wanted to touch on in this, and then I'm gonna come right back. There was one last thing I wanted to touch on, which is they talked about something that kind of surprised me, which was about Tabitha and when she woke up in the hospital. And apparently, you know how it ended season 2.
Yes.
That wasn't the original plan.
Okay.
There was a couple things they changed from the original plans that they did in the show. First off, Victor was supposed to die in season 1.
What?
The original plan was for Victor to die in season 1, but based off of Scott McCord's performance, they let this man live. It was purely based off of the fact that he was performing on such a higher level that they said they had to bring him back. So that was one thing. Another thing was Tabitha waking up in the hospital was always part of the plan, but it was supposed to be something that happened on the last episode of the penultimate season. So for those who don't know what penultimate means, it's the season right before the last. So I'm gonna touch on this real quick and then go to give these giveaway winners, and then I'm out of topics.
Exactly. We do certain things. That's also like a very organic process. For example, we always knew that Tabitha was going to wake up in the real world. In the original design, that was going to happen at the end of the penultimate season. But in breaking season 2, we had said, like let's speed up the timetable. Let's have that happen at the end of season 2, because everything that's interesting is going to happen after that. So it's like as opposed to saving the really cool thing, we moved it up a couple seasons, and that also it's like the first 3 seasons are sort of like I said previously that like with the culmination of season 3, we've sort of reached the beginning of the end of the beginning, and so each season leading up to that sort of like represented, how like when you're going up that first hill on the roller coaster, and the anticipation and the slow climb, knowing that big drop is coming. And so really it's a matter of like, we know where we want to get to, and we try not to get too stuck on, oh yeah, but we weren't going to do that until ... as opposed to saying like, oh, wouldn't that be cool if we did that now? And what kind of corner would that paint us into? And how much great stuff is coming after that? So I think we try to keep it as organic as possible. And even with the as Jeff said, with the answers that our characters have at the end of season 3, we don't look at this as the whole show is leading up to like, and surprise, in the very last episode, you find out this, as opposed to you're in it with the characters and you finally get some answers to what this place could possibly be. And then you're faced with the notion of like, well, is that going to make things better? Or is that going to drive us deeper into this like relentless nightmare? And so we sort of closed the book on one set of questions and open the book on a new set of questions. But in terms of how we parse that out, it's always sort of about what's going to give us the best momentum and what's going to really sort of feel the most organic and surprising in terms of like getting to places in the narrative that we know we need to get.
I got to make sure I tell E-Man, don't hit me with no copyrights.
Does he? But he can do that? Okay.
Yeah, if it detects enough of his content, it'll notify him.
Okay.
But just that right there, with how they're adjusting the writing for this show, like on the fly, right? Like this show wasn't originally supposed to have Tabitha there. I think his question was originally, how much does fan reaction inform changes in the show? Because this is something that's been a pet peeve of mine. It's been a pet peeve of his about the fan obsession with who threw the rope. Like that honestly ticked me off, because I don't think the writers actually intended it to be a thing. It was just like, oh, Martin, the dude was at the bottom of well, the rope came down. I don't think they ever actually intended to go back and make that part of the story. But because there was so much chatter about it online, they were like, we have an opportunity here. Let's just put that in there. So for me, it kind of like, I'm glad that people felt that sense of satisfaction in finding out who threw the rope. But on the other side, I'm like, this cost us a different answer, right? Like when we could have had something else answered, they instead was like, oh, let's just tell them who threw the rope instead. We could save that for season 5.
Okay. All right. You think that the fans changed the lore? Or
Not
you think that they
lore,
just sped up the timeline of which they gave us the answer?
He said it at the beginning. Like they have a beginning, they know where they're starting. They're like, if you're going on a cross country trip, you're in New York, you could drive into LA, you know where you're going, and you know some of the places you want to stop along the way. But maybe while you're driving, oh, I see this, oh, I see that, and that's those breadcrumbs that people are obsessing over. Yeah, they're like, oh, they want to know who threw the rope. Well, instead of answering this now, we can just tell them who threw. We could just look. Julie walks through. Yeah, Julie walks through. She's a story walker. Why not?
So my question to you is, do you believe that this is a fan-driven plot line that exists now simply because of fan demand, as opposed to this was going to happen anyway?
Yes.
Okay, so this isn't something that was going to happen without the fan reaction, is what you're saying?
I don't think that I don't think it was something that they thought of, that people would be sitting there asking that question, who threw the rope. Sometimes things are just an outright surprise. Like I know so here's the thing that I need to pay attention to more. I know when I first saw the screener, I was like, yo, who threw the rope? And then I moved on. But I didn't know that people wouldn't move on. Right. So then now the new thing is going to be, oh man, I just lost what I was going to say. There's a new obsession right now that I think is going to overtake what happens in the future. But it's these little things that people obsess over that is going to really impact how they reach their destination moving forward.
Well, I mean, they didn't. Do you think they fed into the numbers bit? Like, because, there was a whole 47. What was the numbers? 24, 27?
7 and 4, 11.
Yeah, I don't think I really saw anything revealed because of that. So, You think it's they pick and choose when they do decide to make the modifications, depending on how loud the noise is in the comment section?
Lovaloo don't think it's that deep. Lovaloo, thank you for coming through.
I tend to agree with Lovaloo.
Is that Jennifer Lopez as an Egyptian?
As a king? Yeah, that's crazy. I tend to agree. I tend to think that it'd be. I would question the level of intellect of a writer that puts into a script that a chain or rope is thrown down into a well, of which when I get to the top of the well, the only person there is handcuffed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they set their stuff up for that one.
I think they could have just said, homie kicked it. Whatever. I don't think it was really that deep, right? Like, and now it's this one. Thank you, Jennifer Palumbo. I appreciate you coming through. Where are you checking in from? You got to let me know where you're checking in from. People were obsessing over the running, even though it was answered. Yes. And John said something about it in this interview as well. I don't have the minute marker in it, but he talked about how like that question was answered back in season 2, like episode, or maybe back in season 1 after Binkion died, Kenny's dad. And he was like, the monsters walk, they never run because they know we don't have any place to go. Right? It's not that they can't run, but they never do run. And John specifically says it in this interview. It's no longer up to debate like, oh, they were going to explain where they were running. No. This was never a thing. He already answered the question. But now, if it comes up in season 4 about why monsters sometimes run, we can look back to this minute. We can look back to this moment, and we know that that's where that came from.
Yeah, they basically say, okay. All right, well, I don't know. I guess I don't really. There's a lot of stuff that could be answered, but if they were to continue doing these types of shows, then they have to come up with different ways to make it so that we still don't know. And I think that's a fun thing. That's fun.
E-Man did some other things that I thought were cool. I'm not going to touch on too many of them, but
let me say this real quick though.
Go,
if it's okay.
Yeah,
it's a good thing that they did make that decision about the end of season 2, because I was about to jump ship. I'm gonna keep it real. like that after I sat through the second season and I was like, okay, I don't even have a hint of more answers. Like, just at least moving forward. I was about, before she got sent back to the real world, I think I was about to bail, and then that happened, and I was right back for season 3 the whole time. So I think that was a great decision. My bad. I forgot that I meant to say that before.
It's all good. I go off on tangents all the time, right? Like, look, Jennifer Palumbo just told me she's in the Bay Area. I just left California. I ain't never been to San Francisco though, but it is someplace I need to check out. I have family out there.
Yeah.
I need. So what really drives me to go to places is food. Like, I finally had Fat Burger when I was out in LA for the first time, and everybody was like, why are you going to In-N-Out Burger? Why aren't you going to Fat Burger? And I was like, fine, I'll finally check it out. And it happens every time I'm there. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm in the Uber, I'm like, yo, I gotta go get me some Fat Burger. And then the dude goes, well, why don't you go here instead? It's better. So now I gotta try out Father's Office. Apparently Father's Office is like someplace that has a line outside the door when they open. So I'm gonna check them out.
There's always places like that in wherever there's food trucks.
Lovaloo said that's someone's art for sale on Etsy. They let you use that? I hope you bought it. Like,
it said she bought it, I think.
I hope so.
I bought that Egyptian picture to do a diamond painting a couple comments back.
Oh, you're a painter. Now I gotta see this art. All right, Lovaloo, I'm looking you up on Twitter. It's still Twitter, according to John Griffin. We still tweet. I'm gonna check that out. I hope to see some of your paintings up there.
He went to LA, yo.
Oh, Skylar, you missed it. Oh man, you missed it. I was out in LA. You're gonna see it at the beginning of this video. I'll give you a little tease in a few minutes. But I was out in LA and I was rubbing elbows with some friends, some family out there. But yeah, one thing that I did like was when me and E-Man were talking about what questions he was going to ask them, we agreed that one of the things that was important was we need to. They're not going to tell us what's happening in the future, right? That's just going to be a waste of time. Don't even ask them like, oh, why didn't is Jim coming back? We're not going to do that. But can you debunk some things, right? Because there's some theories out there that are just
okay.
They need to be brought up to the creator. So I'm gonna see real quick. I didn't even have this minute mark lined out. So, oh man, these ads are well placed.
This was
very well placed.
This is called a
Where the money comes
Shishibo
from.
Brilliant,
and let me
right?
show you what it does.
For the money.
Shishibo stands.
Right now,
You know, we've said different
It's in my
versions of
live
this
stream.
before, but like we truly have reached the end. It's not going to.
Is it
So
true,
funny. That would
or-
not occur to me as a question.
here we go.
Tabitha is
word, guys.
by
No
the way,
word.
when John had to
Oh
that
yeah,
are answered very directly in terms of like you need to understand this specific answer in order to appreciate the story, and then there will be other questions that are answered like once you have an understanding of what this place is, it will make sense how certain things happened or came to be. You know, so it's not going to be. There will never be an episode where one character sits down and goes, you know, I finally figured out ... But the goal has always been like by the time you reach the end of the series, you really have a holistic understanding and appreciation of what it all meant.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. So quick things, and you guys can give me yes or no's for this. Did Sarah ever have worms?
No.
Good. That's fine. Good.
no,
Thank you.
you mean the letters
Yeah.
that appeared? No,
Yes.
Yeah. No.
I just wanted to make that official because some
No.
people, for whatever
No
reason, no
Especially
word.
people.
No word, guys.
By
No
the way,
word.
when John had to stop and think about it, that should have been answer enough. No worms.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Listen, forgive me for asking this, but I have to. Is Tabitha Victor's sister?
Tabitha is not Victor's sister.
oh, that is so big for me. I hate it peeves me when I say, "Ooh, Eloise." Like everybody does that. "Ooh, that's Eloise. Ooh, that's Martin." They have these theories nonstop. Tabitha is Eloise, even though we already found out that she's Miranda. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Tabitha is Miranda, who is the mother. So it's Victor's mom, right?
Some people still think Tabitha is Eloise also. I don't know why they shut it down.
Who the hell?
We never have to
Okay.
talk about it again. It's done.
I knew when he was like, I'm sorry for asking, that it was going to be some bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Thank you. Do the monsters eat the organs?
That was my question.
stay tuned.
I love that. I love that. Because this goes into my theory about who ripped the dude in half. Because there were organs still left with everybody who saw my theory. I said, I don't think the monsters did this. And everybody was like, no, that don't look like a monster. The monsters don't have blood. And I'm like, the monsters can be reborn. Only thing that we saw was that the monsters, when they obviously they've been around long enough, their organs dry up and there's nothing but bile left. But if it's a fresh born Smiley, those organs probably have blood in them. So anyway, yeah, I just that was a little subversive question that I wanted to stick in there.
Okay, I'll take that too.
Well, pause.
You mean
Remember
Yeah.
the bus?
Yeah,
Was there anything left of the bodies on the bus?
there
When
was,
Smiley-
but there were pieces. Yeah, there were
So,
pieces.
okay, so that also shows that they do something with the organs, whether they're eating them.
Maybe. So like I still don't know why, and I hope that I get to talk to them, or at least I hope that it was asked in the other live stream. I still want to know why Sarah cut out that dude's tongue back in season 1. The dude that was in the car with Jade when the car crashed, he was sitting in the hospital. She kissed him, she stabbed him in the neck with a scalpel, and then she went after his mouth with a scalpel and she cut out his tongue. I want to know why she did that.
Wow, I need to rewatch.
Season 1 is, after watching season 3, going back and watching season 1 is like watching it for the first time. It is mind blowing.
Okay, I may have to do that.
their own organs?
What's that?
You mean their own organs?
No,
he means
other people.
falling out of the corpses.
I understand.
John knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah, because I know you guys cut away, which is great for the imagination, but now that we saw Fatima and her trash diet, I'm like, maybe? I don't know. Is it
so
true,
funny? That would not occur to me as a question, but I appreciate that it is.
I get a lot of comments, so I'm trying to get the official answer so we can stop this.
I mean, the irony is that we humans eat organs of of other creatures that we kill all the time. But moving on.
Yeah. The monsters, because we finally saw a monster run with Smiley. Did they choose not to run, or is it the fact that they just never could? Because people were confused.
I think that answer is actually in Kenny's speech in episode 2 of season 1.
Yeah.
Where he says they know there's nowhere we can go. And so they walk. They walk and they smile because they know at some point we're going to run out of places to run.
Right. Okay.
The obsession with Smiley running, I need this to stop. I need y'all to obsess over things that are actually get us actual answers, y'all. Not just like little superficial things like why is he running and who threw the rope. I need y'all to sit here and be like, what happened to Victor in that cave, y'all? Because my man was clean and he came out dirty and bloody. I need y'all to make go in the forums, go in the groups, bang on the table, start making that kind of noise. But the monsters running, as you can see what Jeff just said, I don't even think of these things. I didn't even know these things would be questions. Right. They're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about it. But I love these debunkings.
Yo, they didn't answer.
Glad to get that.
He didn't answer the question about the organs.
He said, "Stay tuned."
Oh, okay.
So that means, something going on there. Something going on there.
Confirmation. One last thing before we go, and I don't want Ricky to get mad at me. John, Ricky, last time I talked to him, he told me that you have the most fantastic story about your inspiration for the Man in Yellow, and he wanted you to tell that story. Can you please share that story?
Yes, I can. It's funny. So years ago, probably about 15 years at this point, I was driving down Los Feliz Boulevard, which is a place in Los Angeles. And I passed by, it's the corner of Los Feliz and Riverside, for anybody that knows the geography. There's a fountain. There's a big fountain. It's before you get on the 5. And as I was driving past, I saw this man in a canary yellow suit. He had a matching fedora. And he was just dancing and moving with such joy. It was like, but it wasn't like normal, like it looked like an angel trying out his body for the first time.
Can we just stop and acknowledge that John is dancing right now to the best of his ability?
Is that what they call that? Okay. All right.
Like it felt magical, like to the point where like I couldn't take my eyes off him as I drove by. And it was just one of those things where I was like, wow, that guy like almost felt like something unreal, unnatural. Flash forward to, I think it was like 4, maybe 5 years later. I'm driving up Cahuenga Pass, which is on the other side of Hollywood. And I'm driving up Cahuenga Pass, about to get on the 101, and I see the same man in the same yellow suit, only now it's tattered and it's worn, and his posture is weak and defeated, and all the joy has been washed out of him. And it felt like I had somehow drifted onto the margins of something magical, like we're in between when I had seen him first and saw him again years later. He had gone on this quest and he had somehow failed, or he had lost. And I was seeing the aftermath of this like magical figure that had been defeated. And so
oh wow,
the man in the pale yellow suit just became sort of like a thing for me as a storyteller that I knew I wanted to use at some point in a story. And I wrote a number of short stories about him. And then when we came to this point in the journey of From, and it was time to introduce this character at the end of season 3, I was like, oh, maybe it's the yellow suit. So that's the That's
Excellent, excellent.
I hope I did justice to the expectations that
you did
that,
it much better than Ricky did. So that's perfect.
all right, fantastic. As long as I leave that bar, I'm good.
I did.
All right. So
and that's where he told you and him about that on y'all's interview.
Yeah, Kenny told us about it. He was like, John tells the story better. I like the way Kenny told it. But there's all the additional detail about the origin of the actual or the inspiration for the Man in Yellow.
That's a dope story.
But for everybody who checked this out, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Go to E-Man's channel, watch the whole interview. He got to talk to John and Jeff for a solid hour. Definitely check it out. I know Sci-Fi Vision had an hour-long live stream with them as well. Definitely check that out. There's a lot more of detail and insight to go around from these creators. Definitely support all the rest of the Fromly out here. Vince.
Sir. Oh, yo. What is this? What is this? Oh, wait a minute, man. Yo, you got vinyl? You got vinyl? For the records? For the turntables? What? Oh, okay. And glad, yo, is that okay? All right. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm a music nerd. Is Hans Zimmer?
This is Harry Gregson Williams.
Okay, not for Gladiator. So Hans Zimmer wasn't a part of the soundtrack for the.
No, Hans Zimmer did Dune, but this one, Harry Gregson Williams.
He did the originals.
Didn't he do Star Wars? Didn't Harry Gregson Williams do Star Wars?
No. That was John Williams.
Right.
But yeah, yo, send away, my friend. Heck yeah. What's that's the
this one is the Wild Robot. Is
the Wild Robot?
Nyong'o, yeah.
Yeah. That's the yo. Hold on, now I didn't see it. Is that that's not a DJ? No, that's Bad Robot. Bad Robot is the J.J. Abrams thing. Okay, yeah, man. How'd you come across that stuff?
I'm a critic.
That's a big deal, man. That's what's up, bro.
But yeah, man. So I wanted to just go over with the Fromly some of the highlights of this interview. I think I'm gonna wrap up on the From topics right now. I know Skylar wants to know what I was doing in LA. I'm gonna touch on a little bit of LA. I definitely got to pick a winner for this last contest. But I know I've been holding you hostage for like a couple hours.
Nah. This has been a yeah. I told you I was gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up as often as I can if it's cool, as long as there's a seat. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you. I mean, not let you, but I will yield the floor once again, my friend. And I'm just gonna tune in from the comments. I got a couple things I gotta knock out with the fam before it gets too late. But yeah, man. Love these combos. Keep them going, friend. Let's keep it going. Let's go ahead and keep trumping in. We'll see you this Saturday on the new Blerd Order at 10 a.m. Eastern, right on YouTube, your channel as well, where we'll be, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be kind of doing a year-end review of movies and shows from this year, right? Kind of.
Yes. So anyone who sticks around to the end of this video, right at the end of this video, you'll see the link for the next video for Saturday. It's already configured. We already got it set up for y'all. But thank you all. Vince, go ahead and let that geek flag fly.
Appreciate your homeboy. I'm gonna see you on the other one.
Later. But yes, Fromly. Man, I was that was a lot. We've been going live for 3 hours. I'm gonna start to wind things down. My food is coming, so you guys know I sometimes have to run away from the desk for a second. But before I have a couple of minutes. If I do run away from the desk, I'm going to at least put up something for you guys to enjoy while I just go grab my food, give it to the wife, and then come back to you, because I definitely want to show you some of the stuff that I've been getting. So I finally opened up all the boxes and stuff that I get from the critic stuff. Where in Cali did I visit? I went to Los Angeles. I stopped in where was we at? I keep saying Hollywood. It was Beverly Hills. We was out in Beverly Hills. Fat Burger is light years away from In-N-Out. So here's the thing: if you've never been to LA, you got to have the tourist stuff, right? It's like when you come to New York, you got to go to Joe's Pizza, you got to eat the touristy pizza, and then if you're smart, you go up to Mount Vernon, and you go to Johnny's, and you get you that great thin crust pizza. But yeah, I had to try it. I had Fat Burger. It was good. I think the burger was a lot better. I don't know if I've really ever had good fries in LA yet. I got to find a place where I'm really satisfied with the fries. I think I'm going to next try Father's Office, which was the next recommendation. I might be back in LA in January, and in February they have the Critics' Choice Awards in January, and then we have the African American Film Critic Awards in February. So I don't know. Let's see if I can afford it. These trips ain't cheap. Real quick, let me see what else I got. So you guys saw that I had those records. I was also given The Art of the Wild Robot. This is a book showcasing, of course, all of the art of the film. It's a really cool book giving you insight into the creators, into their inspiration, into what they used as reference when making the film. This is a cool one for The Wild Robot. I think what a lot of people will be excited for are the next two, which is The Art of Dune. Now, this is with all the exposures, photos, and a lot of cool stuff from Dune. I just got this recently. I haven't even opened it yet. It's still in plastic if you see the reflection. So I'm excited to check this out. You see some really cool headshots and photos of the cast. And I also received The Art of Transformers 1. Again, these are all things that are going to end up in these giveaway boxes. You guys are going to be gifted these great things. My coffee table is full. Some of the stuff that I do keep. Some of the stuff I give away. I have a huge one for the piano lesson. I don't know if I could ship that one. That gets expensive by weight. Some more stuff over there for challengers and a whole bunch more movies. All the stuff is going to get gifted. I am going to just kind of rewind on E-Man's video real quick because I have to run and grab my food. I'm going to give y'all a moment to watch his video. I'm going to come right back, y'all.
Season 2, we had said, like let's speed up the timetable. Let's have that happen at the end of season 2, because everything that's interesting is going to happen after that. So it's like as opposed to saving the really cool thing, we moved it up a couple seasons, and that also, it's like the first 3 seasons are sort of like I said previously that with the culmination of season 3, we've sort of reached the beginning of the end of the beginning, and so each season leading up to that sort of like represented, how like when you're going up that first hill on the roller coaster, and the anticipation and the slow climb, knowing that big drop is coming. And so really it's a matter of like, we know where we want to get to, and we try not to get too stuck on, oh yeah, but we weren't going to do that until ... As opposed to saying like, oh, wouldn't that be cool if we did that now? And what kind of corner would that paint us into? And how much great stuff is coming after that? So I think we try to keep it as organic as possible. And even with the as Jeff said, with the answers that our characters have at the end of season 3, we don't look at this as the whole show is leading up to like, and surprise, in the very last episode, you find out this, as opposed to you're in it with the characters and you finally get some answers to what this place could possibly be. And then you're faced with the notion of like, well, is that going to make things better, or is that going to drive us deeper into this like relentless nightmare? And so we sort of closed the book on one set of questions and open the book on a new set of questions. But in terms of how we parse that out, it's always sort of about what's going to give us the best momentum and what's going to really sort of feel the most organic and surprising in terms of like getting to places in the narrative that we know we need to get.
I like that. Okay. So, and I like that you talked about how organic it was. And one thing that came to mind was like, I mean, goodness, ever since season 2, episode 1, the prolonging question was, who threw the rope? And like, no one cared about anything else. It was just who threw the damn rope. So, and then thankfully we actually got that answer, maybe. And then we got another fun surprise with the whole Smiley reveal and how he came back. does fan interaction, does that have any factor? Does it influence how those answers may come about or when?
I think it makes them more rewarding when they come. I wouldn't go so far as to say that they guide how we do things, but like, obviously we were aware that like it was a big question that, like where the rope came from, and it was one that we were excited to answer. The return of Smiley, I would say that's we put the pieces in place. We put certain pieces in place knowing that they are going to afford us opportunities down the road. We may not always know exactly how those opportunities are going to pay off, but everything we do, we're doing. And again, this is the benefit of kind of like knowing where we're going and knowing what the overarching journey looks like. There are certain times where we will plan things and we will pay them off exactly as we anticipate. There will be other times where we do something under the auspices of like where we're heading, and we're not exactly sure how we're going to pay it off, but we know like, oh, we've got a lot of really cool options for how we can do this later. And so
okay, all right, I don't want you guys to sit here and think I'm gonna play the whole thing. Oh man, it's raining out here in New York. Anyway, did I like it? Yeah, I did like it. You know what I liked about Fat Burger? It's like the burgers are medium well, right? Like I don't like it too well, because well is good. It's got that good charred taste, but I do like it to not be as dry. So that was really good. Yeah, the thin cheese pizza. You got to go to Johnny's in Mount Vernon. If you go to a pizza place, and they sell pizza by the slices, you're not in the good place. You're in the medium place. Good pizza shops sell them by the pie. You have to buy it by the pie. You can't buy a slice of pizza. So that's a tip for all the tourists. And you're like, oh, I bought a slice of this and it was great. That's good, but there are levels to this. There are levels to this. All right. Okay, good. I'm so glad you bought it, Lovaloo. I'm so glad you bought it. Oh dang, well, I hope you enjoyed your trip. If you're ever out this way again and need something, just holler. Fromly sticks together. I'm in LA. It feels like I'm in LA a lot. Like I almost they might start making me start paying taxes out there. So yeah. Yes, these are the showrunners, John Griffin, Jeff Pinkner. Be sure to check out E-Man's reviews. He was able to interview them. I'm still shooting my shot. Maybe I'll get them, maybe I won't. At this point, it feels like a lot of the main questions that I wanted to ask have been asked. So now I get to just have the benefit of just reviewing what other people have asked and then bringing them to you guys so we can all think tank it together. Let me see. Toby was silenced for a reason. Yes, I need to know why this man's tongue had to be cut out. Not only did he get taken out though, but his tongue got taken out. So we know that they're doing something with the organs, but I definitely want to know, what are they doing with the tongue? All right. So Lovaloo, a lot of people knew that Tabitha was the reincarnation of someone, or at least they were guessing as much. It definitely fit when they revealed that she was the reincarnation of Miranda in a way. It's just that now things are really like Jerry Springer-ish with her and her 3 husbands. Let me see. I get so frustrated in my front group. They ask the same trifling things over and over. The main reason that happens, Debbie, is because there's new people who discover from every day, right? Like every day somebody by word of mouth has heard about it and they're like, oh, what's from? And then they get into it and then they binge it, and then they walk into a forum and they're like, they're asking these questions for themselves the first time without searching to see if these questions have already been asked. It's a little frustrating for some of us, But it's also very indicative that the group is growing. The Frumily is growing. And as each and every person comes in and asks that question, that's one more piece of evidence, or at least one more hopeful guarantee that the show will continue to tell its story all the way to completion, right? More people watching, more chance that it gets to finish. Smiley ran because Miranda got close to a way to get out of From. Yes, and it low-key feels like they're targeting Tabitha and Miranda. That kind of goes back to my theory video with the two dogs, and also with Toby, but I think that they are targeting Tabitha and Miranda. Let me see. What else we got in here? Yes. This is what I need. This is Lavish. You get me. You get me. Oh my gosh. Yes. Stop obsessing over the running. Stop obsessing over who threw the rope. Stop obsessing over the hairstyles of the women in this show, because it's not cool. We need to figure Oh gosh, we need to figure out what happened to young Victor in that cave. How did he survive so long off of just peaches? And who's the first person Victor met that is still alive? And did Abby or Boyd ever interact with Victor? We never saw Abby or Boyd interact with Victor when they first came out. Okay, level. Are we talking about your art? Because you know what? I'm gonna pull up your art in another tab, because I'm really like, I don't know if you know this, but I am an artist as well. I don't practice art anymore. I had to leave art kind of behind, but I am trained in art. Like, I went to art high school. I took graphic design in college. I did art history. Art was my world for a while, but I did kind of leave it behind. So I'm definitely going to check out your page. I'm going to be looking for paintings there and see what you guys put up there. You guys, what you put up there, forgive me. Oh yeah, contest. Let me pick the contest winner. So the way this works, let me see. I wish I had like a drum roll thing to use, but it does say that I do have a winner. I'm also running a contest on the new Blerd order that ends in 2 days when we do our Saturday live stream. They're giving away a new Blerd order t-shirt, but this one obviously is the one with all the stuff that I'm going to be giving away there. Okay, let me I don't want to promote people's emails, and I don't have a drum roll graphic, y'all, forgive me. So let me head over to the movie blog. I'm gonna post this up real here on the screen here. I'm also going to put it up on the community page so everyone can see who the winner is. But if you go over to the movie blog now, all right, the movie blog, here's all our contests. I'm doing a Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim giveaway so people can check out the movie before it releases. I think this contest is still going, and it's actually open to everyone. This isn't just to Chicago, so you guys can check that out there. This one is for Chicago, Day of the Fight. This is an advanced screening of the film starring Michael C. Pitt and Steve Buscemi, Ron Perlman, Joe Pesci, and more. If you guys are into boxing movies, I'm giving away tickets to go see it early. You're going to be able to see it before it releases. All you got to do is go over to themovieblog.com, click over on the contest page, and you'll see this here. But we're here for the mystery box. So the mystery box is now complete. And the winner is two winners. Email begins with man. This one begins with THU. Two winners. I'm going to be emailing you right after this live stream. Maybe I'll even make it a short so it can help. But I'm going to be emailing this out, emailing you right after this. Email me back with your shipping information, and I'm going to send you a box. I already have one box set. I'm going to try to put some more stuff in it. The shipping gets expensive. I think I spend like $30, $40 for each box that I ship out. And that's just the shipping. So I'm excited for you guys to get this stuff and check out all the cool stuff. One thing I would love if y'all could do, and I didn't say this last time, but when you guys get the boxes, if you could, just post about it and tag me, because I know I don't know when you guys get it until I check the tracking, and I'm like, man, I have no idea. But if you guys could just like tag me or something and just let me know or DM me, say you got it, that would be really appreciative. But these are brand new winners, 2 winners right here. Thank you all for checking this out and supporting us. Let me just give y'all a quick. Hey, I wanna let y'all know. Hey, I wanna let y'all know. This is for y'all. This is for everybody who's been supporting the channel ever since we started these live streams back in when did I start them? Early September, maybe late August. Right. I'm still kind of an infant in live streaming. So thank you all for checking this out, supporting the channel this whole time. I really, really, really appreciate it. So all this stuff is going out. Debbie's like, Dune. I don't know how you type that. How do you do that? I've seen you do this on a couple of my videos. I'm so like enamored by this stuff. But yes, the Dune book. This one, look, it's still in the plastic. I haven't opened it yet. I don't think I will open it. I think I'm going to let you guys have it in pristine condition. But this is about the art of Dune Part 2, photography by Greg Fraser. There's a foreword by Brian Herbert in here. And it's actually the photos from Dune Part 1 and 2. So you're going to see a lot of making behind the scene photos. The cool thing about these behind the scene photos is that they don't come out in videos. Right? You're not going to see this in like a DVD or the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray and DVDs will have some great moments, but this is going to be a lot of dramatic moments. I don't know how the studios feel about me giving away this stuff. I spoke to somebody and they were like, "You're gifting it?" But I think that they'll appreciate it when I do it more as a promotional item. So I have the Dune. I have the Wild Robot. I have Transformers 1, which I think is really cool. But this stuff is going out. Lovalu's like, wow. Like, hey, thank you. Wow to you, right? Like, wow to all the artists. Wow to all the supporters. Wow to everybody checking in from all different parts of the world. Iceland, Australia, everywhere. Really appreciate that. I don't like the Dune story, but this prophecy show has me invested. I didn't like the Dune story until I realized that Paul Atreides is not a hero. This is the origin. This is a villain's origin story. And once I realized that Paul was a villain, and we were like watching like some sci-fi Joker type stuff, I was like, this is Darth Vader. Paul is Darth Vader. I want to say Paul is probably the inspiration for Darth Vader when George Lucas created him. So I'm really, really into that. Skylar, why are you trying to start beef? I'm not touching that. I've had pizza in Chicago. I've had the thin crust pizza. I've never had the deep dish pizza. Every time I go to Chicago people be like, "You want that? That's for tourists." And so I've never had deep dish pizza. So I feel like I need to go through the whole spectrum before I can even touch that conversation. Nah, hairstyles and laxes showers as memes. So when talking with Chloe about it, she mentioned about how, first off, Christie's haircut, the wolf cut, a lot of women been rocking that joint and making it work. When you see Sophia Falcone in Penguin, and she comes out with that wolf cut, that's tough right there. But something that Chloe mentioned was like how you don't have a stylist, right? You're sitting here with some scissors, doing your best, not really, it comes out a little rough. So I appreciate her rocking that hairstyle, and also reflecting some real story elements in the real world. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I'm generous. You all are generous. You know how much time you guys spend with me? Like, time is everything, right? You could be doing anything in the world right now. You could be playing video games. You could be watching a movie. You could be playing spades with friends, and you guys are giving me your time. So, I've learned the value of time. I've learned how to better appreciate time. And I really appreciate you all giving me your time. So that means a lot to me. So thank you. Congratulations to the winners. So I'm assuming you're not one of the winners. I'm sorry. Man, I don't know who the winners are either. I got their emails. I'm gonna hit them up. I have another contest going from the new Blerd order where we're going to be giving away a new Blerd t-shirt. I might do another giveaway. Maybe I'll even add a third winner to this one. I might have enough for 3 boxes. I have a lot of boxes. And Netflix gave me some more Ultraman stuff. So we'll see what we do. New York City easy. New York City and New Haven is better than Chicago. I've heard good things about New Haven pizza. I just haven't been to I got to try it. I got to drive up to New Haven. New Haven's not too far that it's like out of the realm of possibility. So I'm going to make my way up there. Lovaloo, yeah, you're from Australia. Man, thank you. I'm definitely going to check that out. Check out my diamond paintings on Instagram. Lovaloo4000 is my user. All right, I'm definitely open up your IG because I looked on your Twitter and I didn't see any paintings, but I should have thought to check on Instagram, right? That would have been the place to look. So let me open up your Instagram. I'm gonna put that in my tab right here, and we're gonna check that out. Oh, you didn't tell me it was private. All right, look. Bam. All right, I put in my follow request. So, oh, is it letting me hit a request? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I put in my follow request so I can see your paintings. Got it. So I think that was everything. Was that everything? The contest, the giveaways. We talked. Oh, and Skylar was wondering what I was doing in LA. So I'm gonna just end it with a little reminder of some of the things that happened to me in LA. And then I'm gonna call it a night and I'm gonna go eat my food. Man, we talked about a lot tonight. We talked about Creature Commandos. We talked about Craven. We talked a little bit about, did we talk about Silo? I might have skipped Silo because I only saw the first 2 episodes. But let me show you what I was doing in LA. And let me tell you why E-Man is not a real friend. Oh man, I was out in LA living it up, doing my best to have a good time. E-Man is holding the camera, right? He's taking this picture of me. A real friend, and I said this earlier, a real friend would have been like, my man, fix your arm, fix your jacket, fix your leg. A real friend would have pointed this out and been like, you've been sitting down all night. You got to straighten this out before you stand in front of this. But this is what I was doing. I was out in LA for the 7th annual celebration of Black cinema and television, where a lot of beautiful creators were celebrated for their contributions to film and television. I was able to go out there and hang out with a few folks. And let me see, where's it at? Actually, there's one more photo in here. I didn't put it in here. So you're actually going to get one more that I didn't show to the group earlier. So let me add this into the folder real quick. But yeah, celebration of Black cinema. I was able to meet the legendary Tommy Davidson from In Living Color and lots of other projects, Booty Call, so on and so forth. Tommy Davidson is a legend in comedy, and he was there, and he's a real cool guy. I took the wife out there. She wanted to come to the event, and I think this was the first time this is the second award show I brought her to. I brought her to the Africa Goes to Broadway, African American Film Critics Association, where we celebrate contributions from stage on Broadway. So that was the first one, and this was the second one. I was able to meet Alex Cross himself, aka Hawkman, aka, in my mind, a variant of T'Challa that just needs to be seen on screen. Aldous Hodge, this was an amazing moment. And then I also got to see the man himself. Got to see the man himself. Who won? We won. We won, Marjoram. We won. We won. This was it. This was it. Me and my turtleneck twin right here. We won. Oh man, this was a moment because, you know, I sometimes like, I always like to differentiate myself, like, because I know I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also a critic, which is where there's not a lot of overlap with that. There's a lot of YouTubers who are not critics. I don't even think John Campy is a critic. I know Grace Randolph is, but there's like 10 of us. I met him. I did it. Right? Like I don't know anybody else besides E-Man who we get to meet the cast, right? Like we really get to meet them. So yeah, this was a moment. This was epic. And the cool thing was I didn't just meet him. We got to hang out for a little while, so that was cool. And I think now he'll remember me. Like he saw me, he was like, I know the face, but now I think he's gonna remember me. So that was epic right there. What's the other photo? Oh, it didn't automatically add it. All right, let me show you the last photo that we took, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. And I think this is the only photo I took with me and E-Man together. Like we don't think to take photos together because we see each other. When we see each other, we're just like guys. We're like, yo, what up? You ready to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? And don't judge me for liking Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I know people's like, why are you eating that? Why don't you go to Fixin's? I love that shit. I love that shit. Oh man. But yeah, this one was epic for us. We got to sit here and meet the queen herself. And look, I remember I was walking by, like when we just saw somebody holding up a camera, and E-Man just dove in and went like this. And I just dove behind him like that. And I was able to photobomb the photo. So like that was cool. That was really cool. We got to see Regina King herself. This was like, man, oh man. This was one of the goals. And if you notice, if you look real carefully, if you look really, really carefully at all the people that are in the behind us, right? There's Harold back there again. This is the dude from that new Jennifer Lopez movie that is getting for award consideration. I'm trying to remember his name. Here it is. So Jarrell Jerome was there as well, but the dude that is Anthony Robles, the man who inspired Jarrell Jerome's in his role. So Anthony Robles, the man who was the wrestler, that's him right there. He was there in attendance. There's a lot of people in the background. I don't know who took this photo. I don't know what kind of phone this was. It's a little pixelated, but the main thing was that we got to see Regina King. I believe this is Anthony from the movie. Oh man, what's his name? The movie Blerd. Nah, hold on. I don't want to mess up brother's name because he's got a great first name. So I definitely want to make sure I got him down right. The movie brother, Brutha. So he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, he's everywhere. The movie brother. He's another cool dude that I might start to collaborate with. Definitely check him out. Very interesting, very funny dude. I like hanging out with and seeing people that are welcoming, because a lot of times I'll see other critics and they're just like, they think they're too good to talk to people. But some of them are humble, some of them are nice, some of them are great, like the movie brothers. So definitely check him out. And he's got a great first name, Anthony. Anyway, that is it. I think that is everything for me. I had my fun in LA. I'm going to be back out there. I just thought the prizes are being awarded on the 9th. Now I'm confused. I was going to award them on the 9th when I was supposed to live stream on the 9th, but because I was traveling from LA, I had to push it back to the 11th. So now we have our winners. I had extended the contest through that time, but I'll do more contests. I got plenty more where that came from. Like, I don't think you understand how much if I could just turn the camera a little, but it's like a lot of cardboard boxes, a lot of stuff. There's a pile of stuff here. Yeah, I'm not running out of stuff to give out anytime soon, Wild Marjoram. So I'm definitely going to do another giveaway. I'm gonna just see what. Oh, hold on, drop my headphones. I'm gonna just see if I could just with these YouTube earnings come in. I still have not received my first earnings from when I finally got monetized. So I'm a little bit in the hole here. My wife is like, you just spent hundreds of dollars on shipping. And I'm like, I know. It's coming right back. So I'm gonna wait till that hits, and then once that hits, I think it hits like the end of the month. I'll do another contest, and we'll start the new year off right. So definitely keep an eye out. But thank you all firmly for checking us out, staying with me for 3.5 hours. I said I wasn't going to do it this long, but here we are. Love you all. Peace. We're going to do this again on Monday. Definitely on Monday. I'm going to go live on Saturday with the new Blerd Order at 10. That's our ensemble group. It's me and 5 other wonderful individuals talking about our opinions on film. We're going to do our best of end of year analysis on best of TV shows, best of movies, and debate on that. And then Monday, we're going to be back with more From content. I got to see what the other ladies did on when they were talking with the creators. But until next time, I love y'all. I'm going to check you all later. Peace.